And a one, and a two, and a three. Do, 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 do.
I found people that are going nuts with me.
I'm going nuts. Is anybody else going nuts? Hello, Virginia Roots and Hawk. Good to see you guys. You guys are insomniacs too. I remember that about you both.
Hey, Virginia and Hawk.
They're
And I
insomniacs.
put it's supposed to say anybody, not anyone, the song. Is there anybody out there? You know that
Oh,
song?
yeah. Yeah. I've started a couple streams like that because nobody was there. Hey, Tennessee.
Oh,
Well,
there's
the
Ridge
search
Runner
for truth. Well,
and Search the
shoot.
Truth.
I don't know that. I've never
There's
seen that one before. That's a weird one. 55, huh? Oh.
I have been sitting here like I have tried to watch movies and they just suck. And
Mhm.
I've prayed and
Mhm.
I should be doing my nightly routine right now, but whatever. I went and cut my hair.
Well, show
So
us. Let's see. How's
now
that looking? How'd that turn out?
it's not bad. Well, you can't even really tell it. I just layered it some, but
Yeah.
I'm
You
up to
layered it. You layered your hair. Wow. The only two times I ever cut my hair.
oh, Hawk. I'm
So
sorry.
bad. Oh, your back's out of whack. Oh, that sucks. It was so bad. I cut my bangs in sixth grade, and then I cut my bangs in freshman year. And you're not supposed to just like hold your bangs and cut right above your fingers where you're holding your hair. Is
Yeah,
what I
no.
learned the hard way because it was like crooked, really short, and I didn't even learn it right the second time. So I've had a lot of practice of
Oh, there's
looking
Garrett.
awkward and out of place. Awkward and out of place. Garrett, what's up? Garrett behaving? I doubt it. I'm sure she has been, he, we, some of us know Garrett's sex, but it's like a secret, so we don't say. But Garrett is always stirring the pot somewhere, I'm sure. Aren't you, Garrett?
Garrett's got a
Aren't you, Garrett?
sweetheart.
What? Garrett's a
Garrett,
star.
he's
Mm-mm.
he's got a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She does. She's very sweet. She's my California fighter. Virginia is barely on the tube today. It's with the girl.
See,
See what? She's got a girlfriend. You
what
didn't know that? You
it's
don't
a
know.
girl.
You don't know. I'm sorry. You don't know.
I don't
But
know if Garrett's a
do
girl.
some of us do know. So, just saying.
Okay, I don't
Hmm.
know. I know nothing.
Yep.
JM, good to see you. JM was over there at Clay's.
Oh, yeah. Here come all the insomniacs. You're a boy? Oh, someone told me you were a girl. I'm sorry, Garrett. I'm just starting trouble. You know I love you, Garrett. You're my buddy, man. Been around a long time.
Oh, we all love
One of
Garrett.
the originals. The Samoan Watchman. Ooh.
Samoan, good to see you.
Ooh.
See, look at all these late nighters.
Oh yeah, we know it.
I kept sitting here. Should I go live and see if anybody's awake? Because even my messages in Facebook, nobody's even looking at them.
No.
Everybody's sleeping or something. And y'all, why is everybody so angry? Is it the solar flares and all that?
Mm.
Oh, there's David in.
David and honey, love you
Did we
long
wake you
time,
up?
baby. Oh, David N's good man. How you doing, good man? Yeah, a lot of insomniacs for sure.
I blame it on the solar flares, the full moon. What else do we got kicking?
Yeah, it was very intense this week. I mean, the last 2 days, one day, what's today? Friday, Wednesday night, I was up till 3. I did that stream.
I
Or
hope.
wait, was it last night I did? No,
Yes,
that
this night.
last night I just streamed, but the night before I think I was up till 3 in the morning too. Anyway, and I could feel at like 11 o'clock that I was super wired, and that's why I did that stream. Um, and I've just been ruffling a lot of feathers because a lot of people are really not wanting to hear that. They just don't want to hear any more things that they may have been deceived about, and I understand that. And
Yes,
that's hard. It's a really hard thing to take, especially when you have your hopes up really high about certain things. So,
that's true.
I think there's a lot of
You want to know why people are mad? Because this
yeah,
shit ain't over yet.
that's freaking sure. I didn't even see you got up here. I'm sorry. I was looking at some computer. I'm looking at some
It's okay.
stuff. Tennessee, quit blaming the midgets. Cobbler. A peach cobbler. What? That was just rude. Damn, David. Don't you come in here talking about food.
Jam.
I hate midget porn because it's always short.
Peach cobbler.
You guys are so weird with your midget porn.
So, I'm limiting myself on vanilla wafers because I gained like 10 pounds quick. And when it starts to roll, it's time to quit, right?
Well, you probably could afford it because you needed to gain weight, I think.
I did, but now it's all okay, so it needs to stop.
Yeah, we always worried when you were sitting out on the back porch and the wind was blowing if it was going to blow you away. Doggone, there she goes.
Yeah, for real. You're nothing. Don't worry about no 10 pounds.
That's
You didn't enjoy those vanilla wafers, lady.
Quick, spray it with the hose.
one night Alan was up there and he was off. They were put your arms out like because the wind was blowing like crazy here that night. And I put my arms out and he started playing the Titanic song, whatever it is.
Who?
Alan.
Oh.
He just had to be there, I guess. It was and then I was like, okay, I'm going in the house because I knew the wind was like blowing all through my mic and everything. No, I'm not pregnant, Richard.
Oh gosh. Timothy, shut up. What the hell?
Hey, I wouldn't mind it.
Grandma. No, he knows you're a grandma.
You can still have kids being a grandma.
No, he knows better. Tennessee, don't make me slap you. I'm too tired for that silliness.
So hot. How's your back?
It hurts.
Dang it.
Yeah, I'm even having a hard time just sitting here. I've been walking and pacing most of the afternoon and evening because sitting down it hurts, laying down it hurts and spasms. Yeah, it was. I've been cutting up trees that came down. With that flooding I had this winter, it washed out all the soil, so all the little rocks are finally giving way, and the wind's coming through here. Will you shush up already? Okay, just enough. I got it. They were supposed to.
Demanding little shit.
They were supposed to be moved out yesterday.
Oh,
But I was too busy cutting up trees and trying to.
I can smell the puppy breath.
Yeah, I can smell
And everything else too, right?
So you pulled something in your back doing the trees?
Well, between that and the cot that I got, I broke one of the four corners off on the cot, and so at
Oh,
first I was like,
While you were sleeping?
huh?
While you were sleeping?
No, I fell across it. I
Oh,
had a seizure and fell across
oh
it,
shit.
and yeah, yeah. The
dang.
dogs weren't really happy about that seizure because they couldn't do anything to help me. I was, I made a mess when I went down with that one. But
Dang
yeah,
it.
it's and the thing is I don't want to like increase the amount of RSO that I'm using. I'm doing enough now to knock a horse on its ass,
Yeah,
um, and if I increase it, then then my tolerance level is going to go up, and then I'm always going to have to stay with that increase, and I just
right.
can't
Yeah.
do that. So
Hmm.
I need it to remain effective for the seizures and not worry about everything else.
Right.
But yeah, getting them trees cleared and everything else. And the thing is I had three big ones come down about a week ago.
Mm.
The wind coming through here is just knocking these cottonwoods down.
Hmm.
And with all the soil washed away, it's like one after the other. It's like a freaking domino effect. Um,
Hmm.
and they're all 120 to 180 feet tall. Um,
Wow.
so so they're not little ones. And then the
Yeah,
neighbors came down and wiped out his fence and my fence. So I've had to repair that and get as much
mm,
cut up as I could, and yeah, just constantly working it and everything else. It just really overdid it. So
hmm,
And I worry about you having those seizures there alone.
yeah, well, the only time I worry about seizures is if I'm driving the prowler, or if
Yes.
I'm or if I'm holding the chainsaw.
yeah.
Or,
Yeah, yeah,
oh my
that just
goodness.
would not be a pretty sight.
No.
But then again, I guess I wouldn't see it, would I?
Yeah.
Virginia, are you running the bar in the night hours, honey? I remember you were always there in Dangerous's lounge.
Does she do lives?
I guess she's streaming. David N said she. I didn't know. I know she's not shy. She'll get on panel and she'll tell you just like it is, too, won't you? Won't you,
Yeah.
Ruth? Hell yeah, she will. She don't fuck around.
Future lives. Cool.
Future lives. Okay. 3 years later. Come on, Reds. What the hell are we waiting for? I mean, we're clearly running low on entertainment here. Use ya. We could really use you to step up right now. Well, I'll come visit you.
Let me
I can.
see.
I'm always good to stir up some shit somewhere. You can count on me, babe. Hmm.
I'm looking.
Oh, Hawk, I want to say a prayer for you. God, I just pray you would touch Hawk's back, Lord. We believe. We know you're the great physician.
I'm looking.
So much, Lord. Just please help our brother here and anyone else who's hurting in this chat, just lonely, just tired, exhausted. Lord, we all need you so much, God. We just pray you'd be with us now. We thank you that you are with us. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Best painkiller there is.
Oh,
Little bit of Jesus.
so.
Little
I
bit of
hope
Jesus.
so.
And a
Come
whole
on,
lot of
Jesus.
it, Dad.
Touch that back, Lord. Come on, Jesus. Only 3 or 4 lives. Yeah, we know you're a regular panelist, for sure. Garrett, I didn't know you had a channel either. What the heck? How is that possible? But I didn't know he had a channel. Did you know Garrett had a channel, Bob?
Well, everyone has a channel.
I know, but does he stream? She? He? Sorry, Garrett. Somebody messed me up, Garrett.
Don't believe
I always
everything you're
survived
told.
Garrett was the dude, so I don't know why I believed when someone was like, "Yeah, Garrett's really a girl." So much bullshit in me. You know, there's a lot of bullshitters and con artists in here in this YouTube world. You got to
Yes,
be
sir.
real careful.
Yep.
But we've all found out the hard way. But we
Users,
still
abusers, manipulators, and a few other names.
But I always said I was not going to let those kind of people change who I want to be in this world. And I want to love people, and I want to believe in people, and I want to give to people. And if they're fucks, then that's on them. Hi, Echo. Good to see you, honey.
Yeah,
Right?
so
Can't be helped, you know?
The one thing I realized about a month and a half, 2 months ago is that my give a fucks are busted.
But
Yeah.
they come back once in a while, don't they?
Yeah. There's just a certain point with some people that you just get to that. Yep. My
Mhm.
give is busted. It's and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna put myself out there for that. It's just
It's hard.
I think I was going to do a podcast earlier this week, or I was going to do one this weekend, and again, my give a fuck is busted.
Well,
Aw.
that would get a lot of people in
It-
there. I mean,
well,
yeah.
it's well, part of it is it's like you know, okay, so if you followed the board, the last 5 years have been exceptionally fulfilling to a certain extent, but getting the rest of the world caught up to where you're at is almost an impossible feat because
Yes.
they're not willing to dig themselves at all. They've got to have it handed to them on a silver platter. They can't and don't want to look up things. You know, I heard some people today, conversations about the latest movie out, and and I was talking with a buddy of mine who was on the phone. He was at the grocery store for me, and and I told him, I says, I I actually said the same thing to Auntie earlier too. While you're at the store, just casually mention to the cashier, "Have you seen that movie?" And they'll say, "What movie?" The Sound of Freedom. Have you seen that? Oh my God, you got to see that. And just kind of get them, start hyping them up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so my buddy was trying to do that, and this woman was like, she's, she's like, "I work at Safeway. What the hell makes you think that I can afford to go to a damn movie theater?"
Oh. Yeah.
And it's like the nearest movie theater to where I am that it's playing is like 110 miles away.
Wow.
They are not everywhere. They're very, very sporadic here in Oregon wise. But you gotta remember this too, though, that they started off with 2,300 theaters, whereas Indiana Jones had like 4,700 or 5,000 theaters, and it Sound of Freedom wiped the floor with them. Wiped the
Yeah.
floor with them. You know,
Mhm.
people are realizing that Disney isn't all it's cracked up to be, and it kind of uh, disappoints me to see the actors that are still on the enrollment there that are still 100% behind Disney and everything else. With everything that we know,
Yeah.
how can you work for a company like that? And I understand contracts and things like that, but there's a certain point where you're feeding into a system that is falling apart. You know, first we had Bud Light, then and then all of Anheuser Busch. And then you got
Ben and Jerry's.
Target, and we got Ben and Jerry's. You know, and it's like they tried to make people feel good uh, because one of the owners happened to be at the DOJ's office and was sitting in the sidewalk protesting, saying "Free Julian Assange," and all this shit. You know,
Right.
but you know, fuck the fact of all the other smack that they've been talking for the last couple of weeks to the American people about our freedoms and everything else. It's you know, and then telling us that that we all need to just give all the land back to the natives, and there's I grew up with a partial native background, and my family is closely associated, and it's the indigenous narrative in some ways is absolutely no different than the BLM narrative. Um, you really have to go into the tribal history and talk with the elders who studied the old ways and have some serious conversations with them to find out that number one, they took the land from somebody else, you know, um,
Yeah.
and massacred many in order to achieve that. Um, and it's basically it's cyclical. You know, it's one big circle, the circle of life.
Yes.
And and there's nobody alive today that was around back in those days to say what book is correct in the narrative and everything else. you know so how about we just clean the slate and we start working with each other, period. you know
Yes.
and leave it at that, and get rid of all this hate and animosity and everything else, because you know it's all been it's all been a political game, since the late 1700s, for people to dominate and control every aspect of everything. And again, it's another way of pitting, uh, you know, one class against another class against another class against another class, and enough with the BS already. You know,
Yes.
Apple Dumpling, good to see you. Been a
It is
minute.
good to
that was a
see.
good movie, The Apple Dumpling Gang. That's
I
when
totally,
movies were movies. You know,
For real.
I totally agree with you, Hawk. We have to even figure out how to get along with the people that aren't easily gotten along with. Is that how you say it?
yeah,
No, but y'all know what I mean. Because we see the other way didn't work. The cliques, the society division, the classes, the classes of people.
yeah, yeah. It's and that's the thing is there really shouldn't even be a difference, you know. But the thing is that we've been placed in this paradigm of earning and desire and status, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to be better than you are, kind of thing. Yeah, I don't want to be better than anybody else. I want everybody on the same equal level. But the fact of the matter is that some people just don't want to learn. You
I
know,
don't,
they don't want to give up what lies they have and spells that they've fallen under. You know, no matter how many times you explain to them, tell a vision, tell a vision. They're telling you a vision. They're not. They're giving it's the producer's vision of how this story is going. You know, haven't you figured that out yet? I said programs. Programs are found on what? Channels. Channels is channeling. What are you channeling? Magic. You know, and programs are programming. It's programming you to think like this or to think like this or to think like this. We need to, all that shit just needs to get turned off, and people just need to get back to the Bible.
Hey, Victor. Exactly. We have all been programmed. And I know I was stubborn, hard headed. No one's going to change my mind. And this past 3, 4 years, whatever it is, I've really had to get an open mind because I was like just sitting and watching chats and listening to people. And I was all, no way, no way. This is
Yeah.
crazy. But the more people I saw saying it, I was like, okay, maybe there's something to this. And then I did a little research, but nothing like most of y'all have gone way down deep in those things that I knew that wasn't the place for me. So I've tried to stay positive and like help
You don't
others.
stop the conversation, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
just because you don't know about it doesn't mean that you know it's you're not stopping the conversation just because you don't know. You know,
Exactly.
you're still taking the opportunity to listen, to hear out both sides of every topic, and then making a conscious decision based upon facts
Yes.
and evidence, proofs. You
Hey,
know, there's a big difference in that, huge difference. You know, damn, I can't even sit here long enough to roll a couple of damn cigarettes. This is bad.
aw,
Hey,
Yeah.
Victor. Good to see you, honey. It's been a while.
yes.
Haven't seen you. All of a sudden, people be popping out of the woodwork. This is in the day or something, up at night. NC Deb's in the house. What are you going to type down there? Give me a break. She probably got to be quiet. She probably have to go in her car to get on panel. I miss you, Debs. I love you. Mwah.
David, I get along with myself great.
Yeah,
But it's
pretty
I
happy
just
most of
think
the time.
that's the way to counter it is to show them, and we have, thank goodness for
Yeah.
everybody holding holding the line. Hold
Mm-hmm.
the line
Hold
was
up.
everyone
Hold
kept
up.
repeating
Yeah. Hold up.
over and over. And it's good that they have to an extent because that's what they wanted. They wanted to cause chaos between the masses. And there's some out there that are doing that. But as far as I know, this group that I know most of the names in are not doing those stupid things. They're
Mm-hmm.
actually trying to avoid them. And that's what it is. It's just trying to figure out what's going on, how to get through it alive, and get to the other side. Because I think that things are going to be better if we get all of this straightened out. And we're working on all the different ways to do that.
I think this chat room for us, no matter whose room we've landed in, has been so therapeutic, and for me especially because my family can't take any of this stuff, you
Yes.
know. And shut up, David N. Shut your mouth, David N. Don't you come in here talking about what you're going to be going to eat some delicious cake and peach cobbler shit right now. We don't want to hear it, David N.
We can eat through him. I'm just sitting here looking at my belly thinking, I'm not putting nothing else in there.
And Benjamin hasn't been
Cherry,
here with the
cherry
donuts.
cob-
He's sleeping.
warm cherry cobbler with a scoop of
Mm,
French
ice cream,
cream.
yellow mode. Sour cherries. Oh my gosh. I ate one cherry off my cherry tree today. I think that the crows got all the rest. I didn't even think it would be ripe, but it was. It was like yellow inside, kind of. And it was the
Oh,
first time I really had a ripe cherry tree. It's like 5 or 6 years old, I think. And the damn crows, I'm going to have to put some kind of net over it or something. I don't know. You're a pain in the
maybe
ass.
I put the banner. I forgot the banner. I didn't do the intro. We were just
Oh,
talking.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going live. 3, 2, 1. Bing.
Yep, that's exactly what she did, too.
I thought that said tonight I took the coke. And it's like,
No, we all know who that fucker was,
have
don't
you been
we?
to the White House?
We all know who that motherfucker was. Oh yes, we do. Matter of
I
fact,
think
there's a
that,
funny meme with it's like Clue. It has Hunter
you
Biden
know
in the
what,
White cocaine.
about that, I think they all do it for one. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing, they have every intelligence
No shit.
known
Camera,
to man, and
microphone.
they can't fingerprint the bag. Really? Come on.
They can never incriminate themselves or be caught. They can only catch other people. They don't know how to catch themselves. Come on, Bonnie, you know this.
So it's
I
like
mean, no.
these guys who are former Secret Service, former CIA, stuff like that, right? Okay. Well, you think about the crap that we know that these presidents. Now, I'm not saying um, hypothetical things. I'm saying things that we know that these presidents have done, right?
Yeah.
And and the Secret Service knows damn well what they've done.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Why have none of these guys ever come forward and done anything? Okay, and let's use a prime example. Craig Sawyer, guy who runs Veterans for Child Recovery. Okay,
Mhm.
which I don't believe is legit because this guy was the Secret Service agent attached to Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm sorry, but her evil didn't just come creeping out. Her evil's been around for a long time.
How many?
And
53 or something like that.
what's that?
Just that have left this earth.
Oh, how many times has Clinton died? Yeah, it's got
No,
50s. It's
or
she's been on at least 50 times now, I think. So,
helped others along. You know.
57 friends have uh, have have ascended.
57. Yeah, that's crazy, and that's so out there, and that's so many, and it's pretty obvious. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like, and that's not the kind of stuff that you can keep from your Secret Service protectors. You know,
Thanks, Darren.
I'm sorry. But that's you don't swear an oath to the president. You swear an oath to the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, your job is to protect the president, but that doesn't mean to go against the Constitution and to lie to the American people and to cover up for the crimes that these people are committing, you know, um, and you know, based upon the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, you know, and so it's like I see these guys on talk shows and everything else, and I'm just like, wow. I says, and I can't believe the people who fall into it and don't put two and two together. You know,
Yeah.
now, you know, sure, I understand a person having a change of heart. But the fact of the matter is, things that could have ended this crap long before it got as far as it did, but you guys didn't do anything. You did nothing. Yeah, and it's yeah, and it's like and now it's now they're covering up the fact of where it was found and all this shit. They've come up with what 7 different places already that this is found. How many bags did you find? I have a feeling you found more than one. The way that you guys keep changing the where everything was.
Like how
And
many
and
different?
then they said that they weren't in the White House during that period of time. Bull crap. We got a video of them sitting out on the friggin' or up on the porch there at the second level of the White House there, out on the patio, watching the fireworks. You
Yes.
know, and that was on the weekend. Come on, get flipping serious here.
I don't know. There's this word. I think it's impunity.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, impunity. Yep.
And I think that's how they get away with it. And so, when you take the oath and it says against foreign and domestic, does
Hmm.
that mean, because that could go either way, couldn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Just
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah. Just it's like the original Pledge of Allegiance was never to the flag.
Really?
I pledge allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America. To the Constitution.
I didn't know that.
The flag is a rag
Yeah, but look how many gave up their life just to keep that flag standing.
based upon their oath to the Constitution.
Yes.
You know, those guys who were those guys who were you think about the Civil War, or you think about the Revolutionary War. How many slaves were set free because of the fact that they decided to join the fight for freedom?
Yep.
Okay, and then the second time, during the Civil War, how many of those guys fought because they wanted freedom?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
it wasn't just black people. It was Irish, and it was German, and it was other immigrants that came here that got duped into slavery. You
Exactly.
know,
That's right.
not to say that there wasn't any black slaves, but there were more black slave owners, meaning that the owners were black, that owned white slaves than there were white slave owners that owned black slaves.
Yep. I remember seeing pictures in the history book, I think it was, of a black man carrying the Confederate flag. And that's when I started hearing all this against the Confederate flag and anyone that was Confederate, whatever. I was like, where is
That was
this?
100%. That was 100% a banker's war. It had absolutely nothing to do with slavery. However, it did have a hell of a lot to do with freedom.
Yes.
Because Lincoln was trying to get what was did exactly what JFK did, got us onto the gold standard. You know what I mean? And created the greenbacks, which eliminated the Fed. And the corrupt bankers. It eliminated them. They needed to take revenge. They needed to get control back.
So you think they're the ones in control now?
Well, they seem to think that they're in control, but I think that they're beginning to find out that they're not as control as they think they are.
I think they've been getting eliminated. I think they've been getting rounded up slowly and methodically and systematically. And we've seen that. There's evidence of that. And I think that it makes sense the way they've been doing it, because if they
Yeah,
just came out and went after big guns first, it would have just alerted all the others.
yeah. You
I
got to
think it's
eliminate the money line
been.
first. If you don't eliminate the money line first, then the
Mhm.
financing to bring in more and more and more and more comes. You know.
And they were, weren't they?
Yep.
Rockefellers were. There was three in 1 month that went down.
Yep.
One died. I mean, you can see all a lot of abandoned mansions on YouTube. It's kind of freaky how many abandoned mansions. They're always out there, but in the last couple years, there's many,
Yeah.
many. A lot of
And
Hollywood.
yeah,
Hmm.
and this is the thing is, in most of those places, you'd be better off tearing those mansions down,
Hmm.
because I think that the horrors that are going to be attached to all of those buildings are going to be
Yes.
so great that they'd never be able to sell them. So they'd be better off to tear them down,
Yep.
burn them down to the ground, consecrate the land, give it back to Father, let Father recover it, and then move, and then rebuild, build something else.
And then it's
Oh,
something to think about how we elevated these people who made a living at lying and pretending to be somebody else, feeding us, narratives of horseshit decade after decade, while
yeah,
they just get rich and do their evil stuff. It's really quite a lot to take. And a
it
lot of
is.
people are losing it because they're realizing the magnitude of this. It is quite heavy.
It
It's
is.
really,
It's a lot. And
yeah.
isn't J.P. Morgan just going and buying up those that are falling though?
Well, JP Morgan's in a lot of trouble right now because of
Mhm.
the U.S. Virgin Islands are really jerking his chain, because of his connection to Epstein, and allowing Epstein to do all his banking through,
Yeah.
J.P. Morgan's banks, you know, and I have a feeling that the U.S. Virgin Islands is going to end up attaching their assets, or J.P. Morgan's assets, and that's going to that's going to be basically a controlled collapse. You know, SJB, that was a controlled demolition of that particular banking system, so that they can destroy all the records and everything else. You know, it's basically one cover up on top of another cover up on top of another cover up on top of another cover up, and all they do is just
Remember,
make up new lies about every damn time that something else goes on. You know,
Yeah.
and,
remember
so
SNL? Remember SNL savings? That was in my lifetime. I remember SNL.
Yes.
That was a lot of people lost their retirements. They
yep.
were totally fucked. That was a lot. I don't even know how many people. Do you remember how many people lost
It,
their
it
entire?
was it was a couple of million people. And they never
Wow.
got any of that back. They got nothing
Never
back.
got a fucking penny. Nope. Nope. You
Yeah.
know what I learned? One of the biggest things I learned in the history course that I've been learning, the making of America, is when Congress decided to print that paper money for the first time, and they printed 2 million notes or whatever they printed it. They didn't call it notes, but they printed 2 million paper bills, and the states allowed it, and then they turn around and freaking printed 200 million as well. They're like, this is a great idea. And
Yeah.
that's when it all started.
Yeah.
This paper money bullshit,
So
and
you
we're
have to turn it.
believing.
You have to
Oh,
turn in your gold and your silver. It's illegal
oh,
for you to own it.
it's ridiculous. I mean, you know
And
what I can't help but think is because when you hear about the 1871 Act of Sedition, I literally asked on a call one time. I don't know if you were there, Bonnie, but I'm like, I don't know if this sounds really weird, but did when it says that the assembly was abandoned, right? And that's how the Act of
mhm.
Sedition occurred. I'm like, did they kill everybody or what the fuck happened? Did they literally just kill everybody? Well, how come we stopped assembling? and we just never did assemble again. And these fraudulent infiltrators, I literally heard that in 1999, that old corporation was dissolved, and the new one is called the White House, literally. And they could just have, they can name anything they want, just like a movie, like Senate and Congress and House and whatever they want, White House, the White House. Those two press secretaries are actresses. Trump has told us again and again, this is central casting. We're dumb as fuck. We're falling for this. We don't know what to do. And that's not our fault. I mean, I don't mean to, I'm not accusing us that it's really our fault, but we are pretty dumb about what's happened to us because we didn't really know. I didn't know. I'm not going to be angry at myself. I should have researched more, but I'm kind of glad I didn't know 20 years ahead of the last 3 years, like some of my historians and constitutional friends like Louis and D-Dog and those guys. How grueling and agonizing to have had to wait and wait and wait, because after the last 3 years, I'm looking around at people going, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? And like, now's the time. Like, if you can't figure it out after the last 3 years, you are fucking dumb as stone. I'm sorry. Sorry to say it, but you really are.
Yeah.
My God. How much more do you fucking need to see this government is weaponized against us and infiltrated us and lies to us and doesn't give a shit about you? It is trying to depopulate us. I just don't get it. It's so in our face.
Yeah.
It's in our face. They do movies for us to tell us, like Contagion.
But that's what you do. That's how you fight it. Is you just you take the supplements or the whatever you can find that's going to help you to build up your immune system against anything that they're going to throw at us, because we know they are. And your
Cindy,
soul, your mind, and your body.
Yeah, that's right. And that is what God's been putting on my heart to do streams about, and I fight it and fight it and fight it. Look, I don't want to be no freaking Joyce Myers or Beth Moore or one of these bitches who thinks I've got something to really, I'm a whosoever, and I can do that. That's what I can do. And I'm good with that. I want to share this study. It's for women and men, and it was written by Chuck Missler's wife, Nancy Missler, and it's called Be Ye Transformed. And it's a great study because it takes the Temple of Solomon and it lays it out and it shows us how to be transformed with the mind of Christ. And it goes into deep, it's meat. It ain't milk. You know what I mean? It's not, this is Chuck Missler's stuff. It's heavy. It's good. I did it. It blew my mind. And I probably did it like over 25 years ago. I don't even know how long it's been. But I think it'd be really fun. I'm going to try to do it just like I do the Constitution study. I'll upload the pages, and I think that could be fun. We have to do something because people are really twerking out, and for lack of a better word, they really are spiraling and spinning. And I am too. I read my Bible first thing in the morning, you guys. I actually put on the Logos program and let it read to me. I let this guy talk to me, and then I open it up and I follow it along. It's the greatest thing I've ever done. I wish I started doing it a long time ago because it helps. It's so powerful. No social media.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
sets the tone.
what.
Yeah.
That's what
right,
helps.
I got to jump down.
Good night, honey.
All right.
Love you. We're praying for you.
I got to try and lay down again.
Do it. Yeah. We're with you. We love you.
We'll be right.
Put some salve on that bitch.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually.
All right, babe.
That right now. So
take good care of yourself. Put maybe an ice pack or something. Do anything you can do, but take care of you. All right. Good night.
Thank you for coming up.
We don't take care of ourselves sometimes. I don't.
No, I don't.
Nag at me. I know Hawk's the same way. You run
Yeah.
around growing all this shit for everybody else, making salad for Hawk. I know you hear me. I know you know too. So I'm on that shit.
Do you know what the EO 13848 is?
No.
Don't either. Jeffrey, can
Hmm.
you explain?
It's executive order. Executive order.
Yes.
Executive order. That's what it is. Let's type it in. Where could you put that up again? And I'll see
Yep.
what it is.
Let me get back up there. 13848.
1, 3, 4. Devolution. Okay. Or disclosure, maybe. Oh, 1, 3, 8, 4, 8. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going. It's a great time to be alive, you guys. And I do want to say that the church is under attack. There are going to be a lot of things that are going to be exposed about the organized religion and the church itself. As far as you got to remember, bad people infiltrate every good thing there is,
Yes.
every good thing. And so I had to talk to Brock about all that stuff, Bonnie, that we talked about that I don't really want to bring up right now. And I said, Brock, I just don't think it's wise to criticize the church in a way where you're saying it's the entire church. Because I go to a church, I've gone to a church for 28 years.
And we tend to do that though.
You
If
do?
there's one person of a group, whether it's church or whatever, the groups.
But
If it's any of
yeah.
that, if somebody does something wrong to you, then it's like we generalize it to the whole group, and we shouldn't do that.
Yes, but also let's take this other scenario where you do have mass organizations. And every evil group that wants to get a hold of children, they'll go in the Boy Scouts, they'll go in the Girl Scouts, they'll go in the sports, they'll go in the churches. They will go everywhere, which is why I've been telling people for three
Yes,
years, get your ass back into church so you can do your part to protect your community. Because I went to a church where the pastor molested his foster kids and his wife committed suicide.
yeah,
And you know what? It's 15 years later, we have a great pastor. Our faith wasn't in a man, it never was. I was called to be part of that church so that I could be there and be friends with that family. And I was very close friends with that woman who took her life because her own father molested her when she was 15 years old. And she had her first child from her own father.
my
And the
goodness.
church doesn't talk about it. They're silent. My own church is a good church. Do they say everything I want them to say perfectly? Fuck no. Sorry. No one does.
No,
Did they omit things I wish they talked about for strategy reason, for tax purposes, for whatever reason religion has put itself in the corner that it's in, and they won't organize enough to stand for the kids today. They are a disgrace, and shame on them. And shame on them because I've
yes,
witnessed enough tragedy, but I'm part of church because I gave my life to Jesus Christ and I said, I'm going to serve you, Lord. And my husband and I, when we got married, we promised each other we would always serve God in a church. We go to church to serve. A lot of people tell me there's nothing for them at church. Well, I hear you. You're right. There's nothing for you at church. But if you really want to learn how to be a stellar human being, and I'm sorry, but there's nothing better than serving your fellow man or woman or child or senior citizen or somebody who needs you. You are holding out if you're not part of a church. That's the reality. And we're letting people get abused. We're letting children get snatched up and coerced by men that come out of prison and go to church to find a good Christian girl. Do you know what I'm saying to you people? You
Yeah.
know, the Hells Angels used to do it. They used to go to church and they would call out these people and say, "You are not a man of God. I know what you did to your daughter. You're get the fuck out of here." Where are those people? You know what? They're all drugged up. They're soy boyed out and lavendered up or something. Sorry, the women beat the hell out of them, divorced, raped them. Yeah, I'm rolling. You're right. Because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of pussyfooting around and pretending that we're not as beautiful mess that we are. You know, no matter what, I still love people. No matter how many problems they have, I love people and I want to help people. But I'm not going to turn a blind eye to sin, and I'm calling bullshit bullshit. Period. That's it. That's all there is.
Yes.
There's nothing else but the truth. I don't
Fine.
get the
Good to see
lies.
you. Kiss off.
Kiss off. She's a real shit stirrer too. You know that kiss off, she can stir it up. Stir it up. She's a straight shooter though. You know, I love a straight shooter. I don't always love what they say, and nobody always loves everything I say. I don't care. I'm not here. I'm not here to live for you. You know, I'm sorry. I do want. I want the best for you though. I wish people could realize that. That's what I tell people when they come to work for my husband. I was hiring him, and I'm like, look, my husband is a spaz, and he's really hype. You know, he's really hyper, and
Good night, apple dumpling.
he can't deal with your good night apple dumpling. He can't deal with your like your personal drama, but he has your best interest at heart. If people could remember that about people when they're ranting or they're angry or they're like, I'm not trying to be a shock jock, you
Well,
know.
you know how um, preachers and stuff, they're supposed to be uh, like counseling also. Like if someone came to them and said, "I think I have totally lost my faith," don't you think that they would try to talk to that person, maybe read them some of the Bible, or put them on the right track at least?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. They can put them on the right track, but people
Yeah.
want people to hold their hand.
Yes.
And it's true. My pastor just did a sermon the other day on the most valuable thing you can give someone is your time. It's not money, it's not stuff, it's not things, but when you truly give someone your time, you
Yes.
are really showing that you care about them. And I give people my time. I do. I'm available, you know, but I don't always say what they want to hear. I can't help that. You know, people have a lot of expectations on us, Bonnie,
Yes.
as streamers. As streamers, I cannot believe the things people have said to me with what they've expected me to do. How dare they not understand or trust I'm doing what God has called me to do? If you don't like it, go somewhere else. I cannot alter. No, I'm serious. And that's the
Oh,
same for
I
you.
understand.
I mean, it's really hard to hear this shit, man. I cannot believe the things people have said to me with what they expected me to do with my channel or my stream. It's like, I was that. Oh, did you make a big fat donation or something? Because I don't even take money. You know, like I don't want your money. You can have it back because you're not going to have any power over me to tell me how to run my. I'm just trying to document history. I'm just trying to share what's going on. For 3 years, how long was it? A year and a half. I'd come. How long was the tyranny? How long was I coming home and just uploading a new, oh, I had to come home without my groceries today. Like a pitiful, you know, pitiful. That was just the worst time of my life. I
Yes.
didn't enjoy it. People think, I would ask people, hey, they would tell me a heartbreaking story of what happened to them. And I'd be like, oh, wow, do you want to share your stream with me? And we'll get your story out there. Oh, well, I'm not looking to be famous. And looking at me like I'm trying to make money off them, because that's what people are doing right now. The spirit of profiteering with the
Yeah.
grifting is absolutely nauseating. Go fuck yourselves, grifters. Go fuck yourselves. I'm serious. I'm sorry, Bonnie. I should probably get.
No, you're fine.
I'm
This is late
sorry.
night. It's hopefully all the kids are in bed. We're not.
My gosh, it's midnight in California. They better be in bed. And see, Devs, I love you. I have peace. I have great peace. I'm sorry that people don't think that I have peace because I have to share news that's unpleasant. It's very sad to me that people don't know the difference between a messenger and the message.
Well,
There's a
and
saying that says, don't shoot the messenger. I've been shot the fuck all up all week, today a lot, all week, this week particularly. And guess what? For the last 3 years, they have been kicking me when I'm been down, and I keep getting back up. Fuck you all who keep trying to kick me down and kick me when I'm down. And I'm really just a woman too. I'm not a robot. I'm not superhuman. I've got feelings.
you express them well.
Not really, but thanks for trying to say I do.
Well, and what Jeffrey said, um,
Thank you, Kim Haggerty. Oh my gosh.
mm,
Look at all these people coming out of the woodwork lately.
I
I love
know.
seeing you guys. Thank you, Kiss Off. She's always she feels like I do a lot, I think. She's frustrated too. People are
I like
frustrated.
the fellowship of church. I mean, I have a lot of good friends, even though the church split up and it went crazy psycho with judging and it actually split into two different churches and I didn't follow either one because it just got that crazy. But um, the people though that I became friends with, and we're sisters still. It
Yeah.
I can call one of them up. Haven't talked to them in a couple of years, but I can call one of them up if I need something, a ride somewhere, whatever, and they're there. And we all do that for each other. That's just the
Yeah.
way we are. And that's why I wish that we weren't all so dadgum spread apart because there's so many that we could just do great things together, I think. All of us in this community.
We are, and we have, and we will continue to do that. We're just getting started. There have
Right.
been many great things. Look, I've
Well, I know
gone to
that.
South Dakota. I've had someone come here from Wisconsin. I'm planning for someone to come here from Maryland, possibly New York, maybe Florida. Like, I've made real friends here. I'm not a con artist or a pedo or whatever. I mean, and some of us aren't. Some of us have
I
found
can't
out
come to
that,
you, so you
huh?
have to come to me. I can't come to you, so you have to come to me.
I will come to Texas again. I love Texas. I've been to Fort Worth and Dallas, and I fit right in Texas, baby. I fit right in. In fact, the kids know if something happens to my husband, we're out of here. This house is the property's for sale. Day two, you know, they
Yeah,
know it. I cannot maintain it. My man is an incredible, hardworking beast of a man, and there's no way we could do it. And so, I mean,
yeah.
I'd already like to get out of here if I could, but he loves it here, and I just I pray all the time it doesn't take a tragedy for us to. I think we'll get pushed out eventually. I think the money will just be. We're not millionaires, you know. We came here. We paid
Right.
$300,000. We paid $300,000 for our 18 acres with the views that we have. 3 houses because they were severely neglected, and now, you know, and people think we're just so wealthy, and it's like, oh my gosh, we've busted ass for 20 years on these houses and poured everything we had into them.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, income. No, when you have to put roofs on and put septics in, it can help. It does help, you know. It does
Yeah.
help, but it doesn't mean that we did not come ahead for a long time. But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's not like it used to be. This was a place where really poor people could live, and you could afford to live, and you didn't have to have fancy things. And I don't care for fancy things. I'm not a kind of woman who gets her hair done or her nails did. I have no plastic in me. I don't judge you if you do, but like, I
No, I
just,
do it
you
myself.
know,
That's why
I
it's
just,
expensive.
yeah, I'm not into any of that stuff. I'm a country homesteading woman. I left Chicago. I left those politics. I left the mafia tactics. And I discovered that, oh, damn, they came here because they weren't here when I got here. Or if they were, I didn't notice them as much. I think they probably were here. I just didn't notice them. But
But Dee, I think that's everywhere. I mean, the price of everything here has gone up so much. The rent, average rent, it, low is 2,000 a month. To buy a property is 75,000 an acre. I mean, it has gotten just crazy ridiculous. And so anyone who's finding the good deals to move here, kudos to them. But and I looked around just to see
excuse me. Yeah.
what's going on. And of course, if you go up north where the desert is and the panhandle, it's cheap. But I don't want to live in a desert. And it's the same thing, West Texas, desert, and then you got the border. I don't want to move closer to the border. I always feel like I'm close enough already, too close. But it's still, it's not affecting me personally here. It's small community. It it just doesn't happen that way. Now south to San Antonio, I won't even go near San Antonio
Well, and that's not very
or
far.
Austin. They're
You're not that
crazy.
far from the riffraff either, really.
Well, I'm far enough. I mean, if I had to go, because all my family on my father's side, they're all in San Antonio. Every one of them are close to it, and no, I don't even I don't even go down there. They come up here for events, especially at Christmas. We have a living nativity. We have a couple of living nativity scenes, and then the lights, and it's a big thing here.
Debs, I I don't know if you're misunderstanding me or if I'm misunderstanding you, but I'm very grateful for. We're very grateful. Like I said, I mean, what would compel somebody to wake up in the morning and want to read their Bible first thing in the morning? It's not easy to do. On Facebook, my Rumble, you know, get on YouTube. What's going on? It's you know, people misunderstand. Don't misunderstand people. If they have to share a message and it sounds negative, it doesn't. That doesn't mean they're negative.
No,
It is so. I don't know how to describe when I would first started streaming. I had so many people that would say to me, "Thank you so much for streaming. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you," because I would never do it. I could never say it. I'm so glad someone is saying it. All those kind of things. Those are the things that people would say. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what changed.
They beat
Certain
her back.
people certain people come along and they what I think what changed for me, you know what changed? I know what changed. I started sharing my private life with people. I
Yeah.
started sharing my private life with people. I started sharing my horses, my property, what I do, my business, myself, company.
Yeah.
And then
You opened your heart up.
I started giving people uh, more entrance into my life, and therefore making them think that their opinion about what I'm doing with my stream matters that much when it doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm sorry if people think I'm negative, if people think I'm not grateful, whatever. I think that it's a misunderstanding. It's very difficult for people that have a stream to not have people have expectations of them. It's just like when people go to church. I remember when we went to church and we went from a church that was really settled, four generations of people that went there. And then we started going to this church where there was like six of us, okay? And you're tithing and you're giving money and you think, oh wow, church should do things this way or they should do something that way. And you start to think that your opinion matters because you're giving money to the church. You know what? It doesn't matter. When you give that money to the church, your left hand don't know what your right hand is doing. It's none of your business. You have
You're
decided
gifting.
to support your pastor because God called you, God called him. Everybody's trusting, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what's happened to YouTube? A lot of people have stopped trusting that the people that are doing what they're supposed to be doing are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And people think that they know better, and they think that they know what we should do with our streams, and they think that we're ungrateful or that we're too negative. You know what? You can always go to another stream. You really can. I don't understand why people can't just get behind us who are fighting like dogs. It is so hard to get on week after week and put it and just do it and just do it and just be like, okay, what am I supposed to talk about today, Lord? What am I, that's
Yes.
why I took the Constitution class, because I needed something that was positive and good, and that's what I'm doing. And I've committed to that 3 days a week. After a couple of years, it took me a while. I'm
I
doing
really
what I was
appreciate it.
told, and it feels great. I feel good about what I'm doing, the direction I'm going. I don't have any doubts about. Well, that's not true. I doubt myself every day, all day. God, am I doing enough? What else could I do? I'd
Yeah.
love to get on and do Bible study and play music. I just don't feel like that's really my calling. I feel like there's a lot of people doing that already. If
Yes.
people need spiritual filling, go find it. Go find it. Stop looking for other people to fill you in certain ways that they can't do for you. My
Yes.
gosh, we're only human people. We're not superhumans.
That's true.
I just cannot get over people's expectations. Stop it. I'm not
Well,
accepting them. I reject them all. You're not having them on me. No. Uh-uh. I'm done.
I think
You're
the
not.
gratitude that Deb was talking about is like because we do have a roof over our heads still, or a car, or food in the pantry, things like that. I think that's maybe.
Yeah, I said maybe I'm misunderstanding her. I did, I
Yes.
just saw the three question marks. It seemed a little excitable. So I I just have had enough of expectations myself personally from everybody, my
Yes.
family, every chatter, every friend. who expects me to be and do, I cannot live up for you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna fail. I am failing. Matter of
We
fact, I am
all
failing.
do. And
I'm failing so badly. I'm
that's
a
I'll
failure.
try to come up with a topic, and I try to put positive messages on the community page, little inspirational videos to keep everybody upbeat, even if I don't go live. Just trying to, and sometimes it's hard for me to even stay upbeat. There's a lot of stuff going on in our personal
I'm
lives,
not worried about it. I'm not worried about staying upbeat. That's not my.
well, I
Everyone
know,
else's
and
happiness is not my responsibility.
no, that's, but I'm not trying to
No, my
just leave
husband, when he
everybody.
realized that, no, I'm just saying, when my husband realized that for us in counseling, it was the greatest relief for him. So maybe somebody else needs to hear that. But other people's happiness is not your responsibility, you guys. It's
No,
not. That's just what I mean. I don't mean to sound like a bitch. I know I sound like a bitch, you guys. It's the risk I take. I'm sorry.
what
I
is
know
it I
I'm a
said to my
bitch.
kids? Their
Some people like
downfalls,
it. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
their choices that they make now are not due to whatever kind of parent I was. You know, once you grow up to an adult, the choices you make then are yours. And you can't blame others for your bad choices. That's
Right.
what I have to keep telling my kids because, boy, they can sure blame me for every aspect of their life. And even childhood, I get 6 different stories of how they were raised. They were all raised exactly the same. Hey,
Hey,
Kino.
Kino, good to see you, honey. I know Debs. That's why I love the shit out of you. Debs is one of the few people that I can count on to be honest with me and to
Yep,
tell me straight and she's to get conversation going and to give you feedback when you might not have wanted it. And
yep.
you know what? I love everything about her. And that all wasn't directed just to you, though some of it may have been because you have a lot of opinions, when you dish them out like I do. Guess what? I know what that means. I'm dishing out my opinions all the time. Other people have a lot to say about it too, and I got to take it. It's like, okay, if you dish it out, you better take it. Today I dished a lot of shit out on Facebook, and I took a lot of shit. And I took a lot of shit that I didn't even expect. Just came to me. It just came to me, and it felt like an attack, and it felt like a bummer. And it felt like somebody is doubting what I'm supposed to be doing again, and they're accusing me of doing something wrong with my life and my stream. And I can't wrap my head around how that's my responsibility. Why can't we trust everybody's life? You're doing what God called you to do. I'm going to let you all go, and I want you to know that that's what I'm believing for you. I don't When I say let you go, I mean with any feelings of, I don't have any. Like I'm not holding on to expectations of other people. Life is too hard, you guys. You've got to stop. You've got to stop doing that to your people, you know?
Okay, that's where we're a little different. I think that if the strong, powerful people like you, and I'm trying to be, I think that there's going to be people who need us in different ways. And so that I try to be there, but a lot of times it gets overwhelming when you have 5 or 6 that are in need at the same time. Plus, I have the kids and grandkids needing. Okay. I'll describe it like I heard it once. We're a pot sitting on the stove, big pot of chili. Every time you do something for someone, ladle a spoon out. Every time someone does something for you, add a spoon in. If you're putting out more than you're taking in, guess what happens? It burns out.
Mm, not necessarily because
When the pot
let
gets
me
in,
read. I'm going to read you something that's my okay. I hear you. You're right. We have to fill up with Jesus, but
yes,
with human limitations, we can't forget about the supernatural. Tulip. Okay, I'm going to show you a visual real quick. Hold on. I'm going to put my camera on. But this is one of my favorite life mottos here.
Deb, for goodness sakes.
This is one of my things right here. It says,
Love you.
Tulip, why have you opened your lips? To tell what I have learned in the silence. What have you learned? To make of myself an empty cup. This is one of my favorite. This is my favorite. You know, I
Yeah,
the more we pour out and give of ourselves, if we're doing it in God's, if we're doing it unto God, if you're doing it in your own strength, yeah, you're going to be empty, you're going to be short, you're going to be negative, you're going to be whatever.
yes.
But the biggest cure for depression that I know is this. The most depressed people in the world that I know are focused on their self 100% of the time, and they do nothing for anybody else. That's a fact. That's just a
Well,
fact.
that's true.
I mean,
That's
I'm just over it. California, half of California ain't working, Bonnie, and they're getting money from the other half that is, and they're shitting on the streets. They're shutting businesses down. Half of businesses don't even want to let good paying customers have their restroom access anymore. It is so horrible here. I've watched this state go downhill. I'm paying more money in taxes, which I don't care. Money is not my God. God is my God, and He provides for my every need. And I don't serve money or this government. And I watched a lot of people in this state fight their ass off. And now I got to listen to people talk about California and how we deserve this and we voted for this. Oh,
no,
I'm sorry.
I
You don't like
agree
my
with that.
negativity. I'm sorry you don't like my negativity while I have to defend my own self, while I've gotten my ass kicked for the last I don't know how long trying to stand up, and now I got to listen to people say that we deserve this. Are
And
you
then
kidding
there you
me?
go. That's the whole group thing. It,
I
it's
mean,
it's the whole state of California is not the same. Not all the people in California are not the same. Do you remember when the farmers marched to Sacramento, like walked all the way to Sacramento to be there to fight for their farms and to keep their jobs farming?
I don't. Mm-mm.
That was like a year or so ago. And my brother lives in California. He's got Trump everything you can think of. He goes to the rallies if they're close by. I know that there's a lot of people in California who are fighting the fight, and it's the same everywhere. I don't care how blue they say the state is. I know that they're still fighting. And even the red states, everyone thinks that it's so red here, but nope. We're still fighting. Houston is a whole different country. Um, Even Abbott is putting restrictions on them because of all the mess that they've caused with voting or whatever, everything. There's just there's good and bad people everywhere. And there's people fighting for their freedoms everywhere. It's not just one particular state or anything. There's no colors. Just don't even look at the colors. Because if you go by our big cities, we're blue. If you go by all the people, we're not. And so the colors don't even matter. Love you too, Deb. And absolutely. God, family, community. But this is a community. How long have we all been here together?
Yeah, this is our community. This is our community. There's, it's not perfect, and everybody's not going to be perfect all the time. And we have a bar. I think pretty much the bar is, as long as you're not a fucking pedophile or a liar or a grifter. And even some of them grifters, they roll in and out. You want to make money off YouTube while the country goes down the toilet, you go right ahead. We'll listen to your shit, I guess, but I'm not really listening to those people as much as I'm listening to people who are crying out in the wilderness from their communities, from their perches, and talking about what is going on in their communities. For
Yeah.
crying out loud, I cannot believe the amount of people that have a platform and don't even know what the fuck is going on in their communities after 3 years. I'm sorry. Am I supposed to be really nice about that? You asked the men the other night, hey, veterans, if we knew this was coming, then pretty much what the fuck? And I'm sorry. I'm just done with pussyfooting around it. Go make your shows, everybody. Take your fast track to fame. Be in the spotlight. Get right on the biggest, latest stories so you can be in the highlight reel, because that's where America's at. And you see it with this Sound of Freedom movie. And I'm seeing things a little differently than a lot of people. And I'm not going to go into it right now because it's not worth it. People can research it themselves and do what they want. I don't care what people believe. It doesn't bother me when other people believe differently. Snap out of the programming that makes you hate your brother or sister because they don't think like you do. It doesn't fucking matter. You are an individual that God made completely unique. Embrace that. Love that. And love your brother or sister who is different. I love people no matter what. I don't care. They're not hurting me. Why not love them? If they're hurting me, why not fuck them up? What's your problem with that? You got a problem with that? Then you got a problem. Yeah, it's your problem. There's people fucking with me in my town. I'm sorry if that's negative to you. Boo hoo. Go watch something else. I don't care. I'm really over it. If you think you're going to have a positive channel all the time, guess what? You're going to have a bad day. You're going to come on there and you're going to have other people, they're going to get brought down sometime. It's just going to happen because we're human beings. And we
I've
want to
had,
be here for each other. Huh?
I've had some doozies because not
Well,
everybody thinks
mine
the
for
same.
your. I save all my special drama for your channel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And most people appreciate that. No, I'm sorry. It's like my aim and focus isn't how to have a positive show. Like, I know that's what a lot of people are looking for in life, and I get that, but I'm sorry. I think overall I'm living a positive life, and I'm just having to share things that are not positive. And it's hard. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do this. I could so turn off YouTube. I don't even, you guys, I don't even,
Well, not
I
me.
could,
That's
I
why
could
I'm really
ignore,
now.
I could ignore my email for weeks at a time easily because I'm a rebel that way. I don't care. And I could shut YouTube off and forget all about it. And my family would be so much, they would probably be so much happier. You
Yes.
know, not that I make them miserable, but they're glad I have my people, but sometimes when they go through bullshit, they're more excited to tell me than anybody else over what's happened to them because they know I care. But when they just want to hear positive news and everything's positive all the time, that I'm not their girl. I'm sorry, I'm not your girl. You know,
And
I'm not
no,
gonna be.
nobody
I
can
can't.
stay positive 24/7. Not with all the stuff that's going on. And Black Watch, what the heck?
I've seen Blackwatch in other chats. He's a traitor. Fuck you, Blackwatch. Get out of here with your bullshit.
Oh, he's not a.
You're an asshole. Yes, he is. I'm done with his bullshit. I've had it with him too. Fucking no. Don't come in here starting shit. Such a dick. You can't. You know I'm in a mood, Blackwatch. Yeah, go. Go. Goodbye. Get lost. She ain't gonna get out of StreamYard to go satisfy your wrench problem, Blackwatch. Oh man. Somebody else come in here and start some shit. I dare ya.
I love y'all all.
I
I,
don't. I don't love you all.
I don't know what I did, but
Blackwatch, stop it.
if it truly hurt you, I am sorry.
No, you're not. No, it didn't.
If I
Doesn't seem
truly hurt
hurted.
anybody, yes, I am sorry for that. I don't go out to hurt people. I don't want to hurt anyone. I
Who's
won't.
Warren Floyd? Does he know you?
I don't
Do you
know,
know?
but
Oh, he don't
I
know
think
me, do you? You don't know me,
I've,
do you, Warren?
I've seen that name before. I think
I've never seen that name before. Warren,
yes.
I'm just a bitch today, honey. I'm sorry. But you know, can't you appreciate that I can admit it? At least I sure appreciate it when guys are like, yeah, I was a dick. Yay, yeah, you were. Let's move on now. Well, I wasn't a dick. Oh, okay. Just pretend you weren't then. We'll just pretend. We'll live in pretend land. You're the harmonica player. Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
I love a harmonica. Oh, I saw the
Yes,
funniest
Warren.
joke.
I knew
Uh,
your name.
I saw the funniest joke. This guy was like, I took my car to the mechanic, and I was like, what the hell's going on? I keep hearing this noise, blah blah blah, and he goes, and it showed a picture of this harmonica strapped under the hood. He's like, well, it might have something to do with this. I think one of your friends did this to you, so I shared that with my friend Leonard, who's a big practical joker. Oh my gosh, he does funny stuff. Like he went on a cruise, or they rent a houseboat every year. Him and his buddies, and they gamble for like 5 days. They play poker and shit, you know. And he invited my husband one time to go with him. And so Leonard had told him of some of the practical jokes he was going to do on the houseboat before he came in. And one of them was so funny. One of them was, oh, I love this one.
I love pranking people. Oh my goodness, I love
So
pranking people.
one of them was it had a sign on the side of the toilet that told the guys they had to sit down when they peed. Oh my god. And he had like an alarm going off one time when he had a remote control for it, and they were all sitting around the table and he like sets it off, and oh my gosh, he would do not super elaborate but definitely well thought out stuff, and he's the kind of guy that would just do so much. Hi Sharon, aren't you a snethead? Are you one of those snetheads? Oh, good to see you, honey. Yeah, and I love to laugh and be positive. I don't want to be a bitch, you guys. It's really hard times, and you know, when you're mixed up with hard times and a straight shooter, well, guess what? You're just gonna get the Heinz 57 variety of everything. And fortunately, I do have a lot of peace and joy from Jesus, and I'm not ashamed of Jesus. I just didn't feel like that. That's always the main mission in the background of for me. If I can connect with people and I can help them get close to Jesus, that is the mission for me in the background. But there's life and how we live life and the things that God makes important to us, which is how we connect with other people. So I don't understand how Christians are missing. They're just gonna trust God and everything. God's got this and everything's fine. And like, you don't need to do anything because Jesus is coming back. And I don't mean to mock that. I believe that. But I also believe that our children need us to be brave, you know.
I
Our
remember
children need us
we
to be
got a
brave.
band building out here. We got a harmonica player and spoons. You do the piano or the guitar, whichever you choose. We
D
got
does
one.
not want to be a bitch. Oh Lord, sure thing. Well, maybe tonight I want to be a bitch to you. Tonight I do want to be a bitch to Blackwatch. You've ignored us for months. I've seen you in other channels. And you just always have like to come and stir up shit, haven't you, Blackwatch? That's what you like to do the best. You're a shit stirrer. And I'm calling you out on it. Had enough of it. I've had enough of all of you shit stirrers, quite frankly. You come in here and give us shit, guess what? I'm calling you out. That's right. Why wouldn't I? And I'll do it lovingly with a smile too.
You're a brat.
Where the hell is Devil Dog anyway? You better be listening, old man.
That's right. His alarm hasn't gone off to go to
No,
sleep.
it ain't Betty by time. That's 6 to 10. And that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 5 hours. He's shuffling paperwork. Devil Dog, I know you're listening. There ain't no way you're on a freaking Zoom meeting at 4 o'clock in the morning in Michigan. You bullshit us like you're not here.
There's a few people missing.
NC Dance, I thought you went to bed. Defense. At least you're not a bloody evangelist. Yeah, see you poking your shit. You just poking your shit, Blackwatch. Because that's what you do. You're a shit stirrer. I got your number, baby. There's a whole bunch of you shit stirrers, You'll cozy up and you'll pretend to be our friend and you'll fucking stab us right in the back. I've had enough of you. No, it's true, Bonnie. Don't be gullible. I've seen him in other chats. I have. I've seen him in other chats. He's not our friend. He's just a shit stirrer. That's
What's
all
an
he's doing.
evangelist? Anyway.
Someone who can't shut up about Jesus or their religion or whatever.
Well,
There's paid opposition too. There's people that get paid to come in chat rooms and divide us up. And we sit here and go,
yes.
oh, I wonder why we're so divided. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because of that kind of shit right there. Blackwatch. That's why. I wonder if he doesn't get paid. Don't ever come in my fucking room again. I'm not kidding. I'm done. I don't have time for these people. Sorry. He doesn't want what we have. We've offered him Jesus for years. Bro. Oh, baby. I love you. I love you too. I try to be Blackwatch's friend. He doesn't want to be my friend. I'll pray for him. I don't hate him. I'm just saying, no, don't come here. It's distractions. Distractions. String along, like watch the water shit. Distractions. I'm your best friend. I'm your bestest in the world, friend. No. and now I'm not. Oh my gosh, how many times have we seen that one? Yeah, D, I know you haven't been. So why you here starting shit? Get the fuck out. You're lucky I don't kick you out myself. You're an asshole. No, they do. That's what they do. Other people too. And men in particular, little bitches, little bitch men. Take the wrench, Bonnie.
What does the
Win.
rent matter?
Oh God, grow up. Fucking, you're old enough to be able to handle having being blue. You're special. You're special.
Yep,
Don't you want to
you're
be
my
special?
smart.
I'm gonna
Like
take
it.
a breath. I'm gonna take a breather here a second.
Still my Smurf. Black, watch if it'll make you happy. There. Are you happy now? Now you can be happy.
I'm
Well,
glad you
then.
broke contract with it. You don't want to have any contracts with. Contracts are not a good thing to have. I've watched the
I'll,
greatest video on BitChute about
I'll
uh,
take that wrench and I'll double it on.
Ronan. Get up here, Ronan. I was wondering where you were, honey. I was
We'll,
like,
we'll just
damn,
play poker
Ronan.
here.
Tina in the house. Hi, Tina. I had so much fun with Ronan yesterday. Or was it yesterday? Last night?
There. I had an extra wrench.
Harmonica audition, but you blew it. Ah.
Tina and Time.
Oh, you know what? Ronan, maybe he's never seen me on a tear. I used to be on tears all the time, you guys, because people used to be so mean to me in Humboldt County, and I'm still a
Uh,
little bit kind of.
I think Ronan likes to see us riled up a little. He can get
Ronan's a good guy, man. He really is. I love his
he is.
vibe. Ronan, get up here and hang out with us. We could use your company.
Here, Ronan, I'm putting the
I mean,
link.
I don't mean to say it like we could use you, Ronan. We're gonna use the shit out of you, Ronan. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
know you're on a
Uh
roll.
oh. Uh oh. Ronan.
This is a late night. We were going crazy. Can't sleep.
Yep, I'm wired as hell,
Let
you
it all
guys.
hang out.
Woo!
Hey, what you feel night?
I'm super wired, and I'm obviously letting everything rip tonight. We're not those California bitches. No, I'm from Chicago. Don't you know? I'm not a Californian. Ah! That's the thing is I'm not a Californian, but I did embrace California. I embrace country life, is what it is. Because I had a girlfriend who, you guys know my cougar girlfriend. I had a cougar girlfriend, and she was from the North Carolina Smoky Ridge Mountains, and she taught me that city. Okay, first of all, I learned a lot of things. Country people hate city people. That's what I learned from her. Um,
Really?
but yeah, they really do. Like, well, country people. Okay, take the extreme country people that really know how to live off the land to the city dependent red diaper doper baby. Who says red diaper doper baby? 10 points to the one who writes down the uh, the author of that term. That's a chapter in his book. Who
Susan, you
knows?
were originally a gangster.
Red
She
diaper
still
doper baby.
is, Kim.
I was again. No, I was the biggest pussy. Oh my gosh. I got in 3 fights in Chicago and I only won one. Because this girl had my friend's jeans and she wanted them back. And I went to her house and I beat the shit out of her right in front of her own house. It was not cool. But I got the shit beat out of me the other 2 times because I said some shit to a whole volleyball team walking by. They said some shit to me and I said some dumb shit back to them. Never do that. You're outnumbered. It's a whole, that's like fucking 12 people, a whole volleyball team. I walked outside Curie High School. Boom, that was it. Benjamin, where are you? Fancy that. Ooh, fancy that. My new friend. Yep,
It's
that's Michael
that.
Savage, baby. You a
Oh,
Gen X?
there he is.
I used to listen to Michael Savage at night. Hi, Ronan.
Hey,
Yeah.
how are you guys doing tonight? Or this morning, I should say.
Well, I'm fucking wired. Like I did
Great.
cocaine.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
do
have to do
cocaine,
the
so
talk too.
I don't do those drugs. But I'm just wired.
That's
Like
all right.
Mercury must be in retrograde or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Something's going
it's
on.
my sleep pattern and stuff has been all goofy too lately. I just got
Is
up.
it?
I went to bed at 10. I feel great. It feels like I slept like 10 hours, but
What?
Hmm.
You went to bed at 10?
yeah.
You like to joke and cut up. I've written some hilarious songs live and on the fly, for example. Crotch crickets and dry and Chia put his comment on Warren Floyd's and Chia please and Chia Pet Pantries. Oh my gosh, I would love to see that.
And that's why I put his link. He's funny.
Oh shoot, that sounds
I've been
funny.
over to his channel and plays a
Yeah.
harmonica. He can even play with his nose, he says. I
Oh
haven't
no,
seen.
really? Just don't play with your toes, okay? I don't want to see that.
But his
Oh yeah,
link
I
is
was on a
that.
tear. You might want to rename this stream. D was a royal bitch tonight.
Oh no, I think it was great. You need to
Oh yeah,
call
the
him
guys
out.
do usually love it. They love it
That
when
was
I
my
belch
favorite
too.
part where like the guys are little bitches. You're right. Like I'm with you on that. For the most part, you're pretty much right on that.
Unspecified fee. I found the cocaine in the White House. Yeah, yeah.
Good to
Only
see
tried it
you.
one time and it just wasn't my thing. We smoked it. It was called freebasing back in the 80s. But I was like, I don't feel a thing. I don't know. I think I'm naturally hyper. I was not. I'm glad. Thank God I never got into that stuff. My girlfriend for a while, we did do crank, and it was the craziest thing because this girl that we drove to Reading, and it was weird. We went to this guy's house. He had a parrot, and I thought I was gonna die that night actually because we did some crank and I was throwing up in his backyard and he was all pissed off about his neighbors worrying about me throwing up like that. But he had a parrot in the corner of the room and a pile of shit under it that was probably almost like a foot.
Oh, I thought you said a parent.
No, it was a parrot. It was a bird. He was such a fucking weirdo. And I never touched it again after that. I was up for 3 days. And one girl next to me that was with my girlfriend, there was another girl that went with us. She fell asleep. She did the same drug. I was looking at her like, how could she be sleeping like that? Like, I only did that, I don't know, with her not very many times. And I'm so thankful to God that I never got involved in that. But yeah, that was part of. I moved to California when I was 18, and it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I never had a father anyway. And when we moved out here, there was no authority, and California was pretty free spirited. We'd go to the river naked, and I was just this crazy, wild hippie girl. And
The town.
yeah, that was going on though. That was like we were
Yeah,
trying to carry on the hippie tradition of it was just interesting to try. It was awkward and uncomfortable and definitely not natural, but drugs helped with all of that, but there's some people in this crowd. Don't let them fool you. There's some 70s people in here. Y'all had the real good shit too. The real acid and everything. Oh, and hi, 3-letter agents.
beer and weed. There you
All I
go.
do is beer and weed. Yeah, I don't do any of I haven't touched a psychedelic or anything 28 years. I would never do any of those anymore. I just couldn't
Me
do it.
either.
Girl, oh my gosh, look at you. You're 59. He's Gen X. You ever see the what's that homeschool family that does those shows? They have a Gen X video. It's so funny. The Schneider family? No, I don't think that's the Schneider family. We're Gen X. It is so funny. You guys gotta watch it. If you're Gen X, you gotta see it. You gotta see it. It's so great. Because Gen X, we're bonded, you know? I mean, we really, Gen X and older, right? Because before these devices came out and everybody has a cell phone, we really knew how to connect. Because look at how we're disconnected now. Bonnie and I talk about that all the time, and that's why her and I still get together. Well, we love each other, of course, but we keep trying to hold this thread together of our community that we love. All these people that have come out tonight: Kim Haggerty, T Girl, Tina Duff, Warren Floyd. Haven't seen before, but Unspecified V, Kino, and Brew. I still say Brew, bruh. I like them both, so I can't pick which one. Fancy that. Fancy that wins the 10 points. Oh my gosh, let me put him down here. 10 points for Fancy that. Yeah.
With hairy nostrils, ears, and plumber's crack because I don't want to see.
No. And I never let my armpits grow. I do let my legs grow hairy. In fact, I just shaved them like last week from the winter. I didn't care. I'm married 28 years. What do I care? My husband don't care. Shoot. I love you, T girl. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you guys checked in that are usually quiet. I know a lot of you are quiet,
We
and
need
I'm
to
quiet.
know this for stuff. Like,
So
what's the funniest prank you ever did pull on somebody?
me or Ronan? Ronan, you go. I've been talking to you. I need to take a breath. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so annoying.
I don't think I've really been that good at pranks, but one prank we pulled for our senior prank, if you will, was we cut a hole in the bottom of an ice cream pail and we filled it full of Skittles and we put it in front of the principal's office door with a little note on top of it said, a gift from the graduating class of 2023. Or I'm sorry, 2003. Oh my. So then when he lifted it up, all the Skittles came pouring out of the bottom, and we were all there kind of strategically watching to be able to point and laugh. But they threatened us that if we did any pranks, that they would cancel our graduation. And I don't know what they were worried that we would do, like why they were so scared, but like that came out like a week or so before graduation when we were kind of coming up with a prank. So we're like, well, we're still going to do something. And, they couldn't cancel graduation over some spilt Skittles, right? Like,
No, Skittle prank is not major enough for canceling your graduation. I did horrible things. Right now, my granddaughter's riding around she doesn't even know it because I guess she doesn't go to the back of her car ever. But it says there's a magnetic on it says student driver.
you put it on without her knowing?
Well, the girls have been doing it. It's been passed around. It was on my car for a little bit. And then they're like, she's not even driving it. We need to put it on someone else's.
I've seen those around. I always kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. So maybe it's not a bad thing it's on her car.
My best friend of 40 years, when we were living in the apartments, she was across the parking lot from me. And so the back of her truck was always pointed at me. She had one of those, it's not a real truck, it's those little mini trucks, Mitsubishi things or whatever they're called. And she's so it was my turn to prank her, and they have these these white things that are sticky on the one side of it, and I put it on her back license plate. I don't know if one of the kids ripped it off a few days later, but she never even knew it, and I can't believe she never got pulled over either.
We tried to like putting signs on people's backs that kick me and stuff like that for a little while, but
the worst
I'm
thing
not
I
a
ever
good
did.
practical joker. I haven't done any. I just haven't done anything like that really. I did surprise party for my husband. Actually, I've done 2 surprise parties when he turned 30 and when he turned 50. When he turned 30, we had a Arabian horse. We used to have a horse that we could ride, and it's a long story. But she was 16, and he woke up and he was 30. It was his birthday, and he didn't know I was having a surprise party for him. So, but he decided he wanted to go riding, and he really didn't do it that much, but he did know how to do everything. I taught him how to do the saddle and the bridle and stuff, and so he went out and he took this Arabian horse that we had, Sarada. She was 16 years old, and he was booking. He let her go. He cut her loose. He's like, "I'm 30 years old, woohoo!" He was like, "Yeah." He was ripping, and on the rock up here on the road, and she was cutting a turn. She was 100% Arabian. She was papered. I mean, she was amazing.
No. That's a
Yeah,
long ways down.
and she was turning, and she fell, with him on him and her, and then she took off. So he comes back with his white T-shirt and his head the size of a fucking melon. I mean, it was like double.
My goodness.
His head was wrapped up in his T-shirt. He's bleeding. He doesn't know where the horse is. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, well, I'm having a surprise party for you. And like, I had to tell him because he looked like shit. I'm like, well, we got to go to the hospital now, or shit, man. And so anyway, I wasn't really that mad at him about that, but it was stressful about the horse. Oh, then I get in my car to go look for her, and I back into one of my friend's vans because I wasn't used to anybody being parked on our property like that. We just didn't have company. We always back in ever since then. It's a Boy Scout thing too. But I backed into his car, just boom, that's before backup cameras and everything. So I don't have any good prankster stories, but I got that was a doozy, man. That 30th, and then one other time I made a Thanksgiving dinner. It was my husband and I's first Thanksgiving in California, and I went to put the turkey down after we cooked it over whatever. However, I mean, it was grueling. We were like, okay, this thing's finally fucking done, and I go to put it on the table, and the table legs just give out, and the thing just falls on the floor. The table crashes. There's grease everywhere. My husband looks at me. He's like, "We're eating that turkey. I don't care. Pick it up. Let it go." And one more that reminds me of another funny time. Even though dogs, when they drink that water, they're just like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." One more time, we were cooking. I was like so excited because I had steak and shrimp. I was cooking it at home. I don't think we could ever really afford it much before. And I was like so excited. I'm like, we got steak and shrimp, man. This is freaking, look at us. We're like white trash ghetto, man, and we're having steak and shrimp. This is crazy. And I'm all excited, and then I start a grease fire. And then all I see is my husband gets out that fire extinguisher, and there goes my steak and shrimp. And that motherfucker, he still ate it. I didn't eat it. I was like, I'm not eating that. He's like, I'm eating it. I'm washing it up. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
He ate it. I didn't eat it, but that was it. 5 second rule. That's right. He was like, I'm worried. I mean, I tried, I can't even remember what it was, just like ash or whatever. But my best friend, what she did is in 8th grade, is she set off one of those fire extinguishers in the whole room. She just blew it up.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck this place. It was her last day, 8th grade. She's like, bye, bitches.
Yeah, there's.
She's still my best friend. I should try to get her on. She's known about all this shit for so long. She's followed Russell Gold and chemtrails and the reptilians, and I always thought she's a fucking Looney Tune. She's just a fucking Looney Tune. Now, guess what? She's not. She's not. She's straight up knows
Good tea, girl.
what she say. Put a Cornish turkey and had her niece carve it, and she started screaming, "Oh no, it's pregnant!" Stuff like that. I've seen videos like that. That is so sad. Cornish hens are so good. I've cooked I was into that for a while. I was cooking those with herb de Provence. Hello. Anybody know about that spice? Herb de Provence.
No, sorry.
What? Okay, come on. Can I get a witness out there? Who knows about the blend? How many spices are in it? Come on, you all know. It's a spice blend. Obviously, it's from France, right? Herb de Provence. It's very delicious.
Herb.
What kind of herb is in that?
Well, cannabis isn't in it, but if I had my way, I would put it in it. What, Cindy? What? Herb de Provence. Well, I believe it has. Rosemary. Shit! I just thought of some of them. Tarragon.
Thyme.
I think thyme. Lavender. I want to say lavender. Cannabis. No, cannabis is not in it. I would put it in it though. I would. Where's Benjamin? He's sleeping, huh? I haven't seen you, Benjamin. I love you, honey. If you're gonna watch the replay, I know you're gonna watch the replay if you're not here.
Hey, Lala.
Weird when he's not here. No.
Lala or Lola? It's Lala, right?
It may have I'll bet you it has anise or fennel in it as well. Well, shit. Now I gotta look it up. Son of a-
You're the
Herbs.
one that asked what spices were in it. You're wanting everybody else to tell you.
Yeah,
it's-
it's your thing.
Oh, y'all are researchers, aren't you? Give me a break. The
Yeah,
hell?
What you want to
Why
I
do
do?
I
don't
gotta
like
do
fennel all
everything?
that much.
I'm on the panel, for crying out loud. Isn't that good enough? Okay, here we
How
go.
does that
Herb
taste
de-
like? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, there's more than 5. In my mind, there was 5. Tarragon, sage, dill, thyme, oregano, rosemary, chives, and parsley. It's quite a power pack. Oh, wait, that was just on a towel. Sorry, but I think that it's possible. I think that it's possible that those are all in it. You know what I mean? Let's see.
It's
Here's
possible.
Tarragon, sometimes I don't like it if it's too much.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it as much.
Yeah.
I think that's what. I think it kind of tastes like fennel. I think that's where I may be mistaken, but
Now this one has organic basil, rosemary, thyme, parsley, marjoram, lavender, and tarragon. That sounds more right. The other one, like I said, it was a towel, which I was because I clicked images. $23 a pound. Mountain Rose herbs.
Goodness.
Yeah, well, a pound is a lot.
Well,
So
that's true. With the
you don't.
spice of it.
This is really. Oh wait, is this 0.9 ounces? Is still $23. Thyme, rosemary, marjoram, winter savory, and English lavender flowers. See, that's what I know it to be. It has, I don't know about the winter savory. I don't remember that being in there, but the lavender, and this doesn't have tarragon in it. I mean, you get to make it up. It could be whatever you want, people. It's France. Okay, France. The Frenchy French do whatever the fuck they want. Okay. Just put in whatever you want. Just make sure there's at least 5 spices. That's what I say. Okay.
We have a lot of lavender farms here, and they put it in everything. Cookies and all kinds of foods, and I never heard of that until
No?
started
Of
putting up these lavender farms. And
Yeah, I never thought of it as something to eat. There's always been stuff in like soaps and
yes,
Yeah.
smell good, but not
Yeah.
edible.
what? Lavender?
Yeah.
Oh, they in our Arcata. Well, there's some foods. I've made things with lavender. You know what they do pair with it? The really like foodies. Anna, my friend Anna, that I showed her apothecary recently on my channel. Um, she makes keto cookies, and she made some with gray. This is what I've seen lavender paired with a couple things. What's that called? Earl Grey tea. Earl Grey and lavender. They pair well together. And there's a local ice cream place here that makes a vanilla lavender ice cream that's really good. And I've made lavender rosemary. Oh no, I've made lavender blueberry ice cream, I think. Something like that. It was okay. It was okay. I like lavender. I like to eat it. But the men shouldn't eat it. You shouldn't eat lavender or soy at all. There's too much estrogen, and they've been working on lowering your testosterone through those products for decades.
Oh,
There is definitely a war on men's nuts. They've been
Fuck
coming
I'm
after our
telling you,
nuts for
You
a long
betcha.
time.
Oh,
leave
you
our
betcha.
masculine men alone.
Leave our men's balls alone, damn it.
Right.
To have their junk, and we need them to have their stuff. Don't demasculate or castrate our men. We don't want fucking eunuchs around here. We want men with brass ass balls. Where is D-Dog? D-Dog, where are you? What the hell? Why is he ignoring us tonight? Fucker. I know you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
I know he is, Bonnie. I know he is. What else would he be doing while he files papers?
Zoom. You know he does Zooms in the middle of the night.
No, he's not at 3 in the morning. No, not at 4:30 in the morning. I'm gonna call his ass. Fucking Tito. No, I'm just kidding.
He's having a lavender tea.
Maybe I should have some lavender tea. No soy, man. That's right. No soy. No soy and no lavender. What else? That you know what? When I worked at Sizzler, here's a fact, and I never thought I'd be talking about it 30 years later because I never would have thought that this would have any connection. But I used to have to fill the taco bar. I used to have to do the salad bar, and I got the meat out, and the meat came from Cisco, and it was on a truck, and it was in a big, long, sealed plastic bag, and it said 80% soybean meal on it, or product, or something like that. That taco bar meat was 80 fucking percent soybean. Men thought they were eating ground beef. You were eating soybean. And if you read Hormel chili, and if you read just about any canned product, men, you will find a lot of soy in there. And it is designed to demasculate you and to take
Yep.
away your testosterone.
Where do you think
100%.
man boobs came from? I mean, men have always been fat. There's always been fat men, but like, there's been a new like level in man boobs we've seen, and it comes from that. Exactly what you just said.
And they're getting breast cancer too.
Yeah. You know,
That
I just came. Yeah, go ahead,
I
Ronan.
was just saying that's how they're trying to turn us all into eunuchs. But go ahead.
Oh, I was just, yeah, yeah. Well, when my husband and I first were, when we got saved, we got engaged and married and stuff, and we came across, I don't remember how I got it, but this book, To Train Up a Child, by Michael and Debbie Pearl. Any
Hey,
fans in
Larry.
the house? Hey, Larry. That is how we raised our kids. And if I read you, and I will read you some of these excerpts someday, I might have them in here in the she shed. If I do, I'll go look in a minute. But because they were really quick little paragraphs, it was an excellent, excellent way to raise our kids. I loved it because the Amish are very strict, but they're very loving. And the main thing they taught me was you can be strict and loving and discipline your child, but you do not have to do it angrily, and you should not do it angrily. And you should not use your
Yeah.
hands as a weapon. That's why they use switches. And don't feel bad if you did use your hand. I mean, please, I have friends that didn't ever have to spank their kids, and they disciplined
Oh,
them well, and their kids were great kids. But I spank my kids at times, and I don't regret it. And my kids will have thanked me over and over because they see the way kids act today, and they're like,
yep.
"Thank you for not letting me get away with that and act like that." And they understand because I taught them, you're just being selfish. You're just stop it, whatever. Like I treated my kids respectfully. They understood the boundaries when they crossed them. I mean, we had my kids worked for us in just the last 2 weeks. My daughters moved off our land, and my son, yesterday was his last day working for us. He's worked for us for 10 years, and they've been, our kids have been
No
really
wonder you're emotional.
well. It's good. It's actually, that's not it at all. It's actually great that they're like, their dad just wants to be their dad. He's been their boss and landlord, and
True.
I'm not, but him and I left home when I was 14. My husband left home too, and then he bounced back and saved up to move to California. We're both very, very, very independent. And our kids, they're not, they don't ask us for money. They're good kids. They enjoy our company. To me, that's success. If
Yeah.
and we've been able to travel with them, and I love my kids, but it's great that they're not going to be both working for us and living next door to us anymore. Like she lives, it's great. It's great. But
You were talking about that men thing, and now that it's like I just made up a song, and it's just
what is it? Let's sing it.
stuck in my head.
How's it go?
And so the tune is from something. We like our men, raining men, men, men. You know that tune? No, never mind. It's stupid.
It's Raining Men. I know that it's Raining Men one.
Delirious.
Uh-oh, she's getting, well, that's fun. Everyone's liking that. Is Shit Me Pants still here? My gosh, I can't believe he showed up. You still here?
Who?
Shit Me Pants.
Shit me pants.
You don't know who Shit Me Pants is?
Is there somebody in chat named that really?
Oh, come on now, Bonnie. You don't know who that is? Okay. Oh, wait. The Search for Truth.
Oh,
55. Nah, he's probably passed out. He probably shit his pants, too.
there you go, V.
Oh, man. you know what? YouTube has been a wild ride. It has been. I'm ready to do a stream about uh, the people of YouTube, and just like the shit that can happen.
Remember when?
It's raining men, hallelujah. God, I love men. I love you, men. You real men out there with your real balls. I love you. I really do.
The real one.
Not those fake ass ones. We don't care for those. Hallelujah. It's raining men. Hallelujah. God, I do love men because my daddy didn't love me, but Jesus made up for it. So I'm not super pathetic. Like I'm healed and I'm really good. I really am. But because my husband, somehow I was graced with a good husband. I had a good grandpa too. But, men have they've been demasculated. They have been unappreciated. They have been not supported. Um, I haven't liked what I've seen, what's happened with the men in our country at all. It has broke my heart. I would I would like to see our men raised back up in a position of trusting leadership, and that's it. Just I trust our men to I trust my husband.
I thought you were going to bed, David.
David, he's always saying that shit. I'm going to bed. The fuck he is. He never is. I don't believe him when he says he's going to bed. Never. I knew you were still up.
He probably just finished a sandwich.
Right? He said he was hungry. Donna, so it's raining, man. Hallelujah. It's raining, man. No, in
There is a song.
shows, look, it was Everybody Loves Raymond. That was the most demasculating, degrading, but funny as fuck show. It was so funny, but it made men look stupid. And a lot of shows did that. And they always made the man that was the workaholic was what a fucking asshole. He's a workaholic. I mean, there are the degrees of that, but really, girls, when you take a workaholic driven man and you compare it next to a oh my gosh, come on. Taking a welfare check, standing on the corner with a fucking sign, like my friend Justin, which I love, and he knows I'll say this right to his face. He has no shame. He'll do that. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll stand on the corner before he's going to go get a job. He's fought cancer and beat it, though, so I think that's part of it. When you hear cancer and you think you have a death sentence, you're not going to go give no hour to the man, not 1 hour of your life to the man. But he hustles too. He sells rocks. I've bought a few from him. Like, he'll go to farmers markets and he'll try to hustle for himself, but he just doesn't. And he has made thousands. Actually, he's had people help him along the way. But during COVID, people that stood up were really put in destitute situations.
Yes.
And that's reality. Especially the ones who really stood up. And there were, in the medical field, some of them really had to walk away from everything. Everything. Yeah. He didn't. That wasn't his story, but, it made me really look at things differently. I've always appreciated and taken care of, homeless people, anybody. Human beings are human beings. It doesn't. And if someone's in a suit, I'm actually going to have a little less respect for them. This sounds so shitty, and it probably sounds like bullshit, but it's not. It's the truth. I will have less respect for them.
It's always been that way
Some-
for me. Like the worst jobs
sometimes,
I ever had were put a suit on.
yeah, not less respect. I mean, I mean, shit. Some men in a suit, please. Oh God, come on. You know they look damn good, right?
Some.
But when they have that haughty, I have money and I'm the shit and worship me attitude, they're not getting it. They're not getting it. Just like someone who wants pity from me, you're not getting pity from me either. Oh, you want me to feel sorry for me? I'm sorry. I just grew a little more disdain than I already had. You know, that's how that works with me. Don't ask for pity from me. I'm sorry. I don't.
Suits are what ruined this country. It's
Yep.
all the lawyers, all
Suits,
the suits. Yeah, all the suits.
there's a whole meaning to suits, isn't there? There's
Yeah,
the whole meaning to suits.
and ties.
And I don't want
Around your
to
neck.
look. I love a man in a suit. They look fucking awesome. I do not want to be poo poo in suits here.
Well, that's what they say, right? Like a woman loves a man in uniform.
Every girl's
That
crazy.
means,
Oh gosh, a uniform. Shit. Oh my gosh. If it's an armed forces one too, oh, y'all forget about it. Forget about it. Red beret, green beret, marine. Oh shit. We're done. We're done
Navy
in.
looks pretty slippy too. Yeah.
They all look good. They
Yeah.
all look good. They do. I mean, that uniform is. It's yeah. It says a lot. It does. It's not just they look good in it. It's because it doesn't. And it's not because their appearance looks good. It's because their character looks good. Even though it doesn't matter what wars they fought. To me, I've had a veteran that was pretty young and he was like ashamed about his service because he didn't like the war he was in and stuff. And I'm like, don't you ever. We all appreciate you. Maybe not all, but can't speak for everybody, obviously. But I said most people see you for what you did and not that war like that. They don't. They don't. We don't.
Hey,
We
Shadows.
love you veterans.
well,
I
I think
love you
part of it
veterans.
is, when it comes to uniforms and suits and all that stuff,
You too.
at some point a boy chooses and decides to become a man, right?
Mm-hmm,
They reach that age of accountability and they realize responsibility and what their role is. And it is a choice to serve, right? That's what they're you're recognizing.
Right.
It's their,
Yeah.
so it's not, I don't blame them for being lied to just like the rest of us and tricked and all this stuff. But now it looks like the role is kind of, as for men, in my opinion, is kind of coming back to planting roots back here at home, kind of like a maybe pioneer farmer style, if you ask me.
Yep.
Kind of making sure the family's okay. And for the longest time, it seemed like we were kind of tricked into believing all the problems are coming from overseas into here, and that's why we're having a lot of the hardships. But
Yes, I fell for that. Mm-hmm.
Cindy. Yes. But sorry, uniform here.
Debs, you're still awake, Debs.
Uniform here is Wrangler jeans, whatever kind of
Wrangler butts drive me nuts. Drive me nuts, dude. Oh my gosh. My husband lives in a college town. Shut up, all you people. And he is so flirty with those. He's not trying to be flirty, but he just has that charming little smile of his little dimples, and the girls just they don't even care. I'm standing right there. I'm like, bitch, you better stop flirting with my husband. But no, I'm just kidding, because human nature is a little bit flirty, and I think it's fine in an innocent direction as long as it's not going too far. There's obviously going to be human attraction with especially uniforms and all that. That's just natural. To act like that's not there is just stupid.
Okay.
No,
But
it's just
but that's just it. It's just whatever they're wearing, as long as they're fully dressed. Even
mm-mm.
the ladies.
Why? Why? Why do they gotta be fully? What do you mean fully dressed?
What?
What do you mean?
Nothing.
What do you mean fully? I say unbutton that shirt, guys. Unbutton the top. Unbutton the top shirt. Assless chaps. Let's see what else. Cowboy hat.
Goodness.
Gray flannel is a great cologne. When my husband puts gray flannel on, because I make sure he always has gray flannel. Don't nobody tell me that's a shitty, bad cologne or company.
Oh,
Please,
I've never
please.
heard of it.
I've never
Oh,
heard of it either.
oh, you gray flannel. Hello, any gray flannel fans in the house? You
No,
know
I
that's a
wear no cologne, no deodorant.
what? It
Au
smells hot.
natural.
He wears it to church. Actually, when he kisses me goodbye sometimes in the morning, I love this. Sometimes I'll get that linger on my
Just
cheek, you know.
me. I didn't do that.
It's awesome. Old
Nope. I
Spice.
just go out there putting my own natural pheromones out there.
I don't really like Old Spice, David. Oh, you want to start with me, David? Huh? Okay, come on. I dare any of you people to start with me tonight. Go ahead. Hit me with your best shot. Far away. I dare you. No, actually, it's Bonnie's stream. I better behave. It's well, too late. It's too late. I have not
Well,
behaved tonight.
there's Dorinda.
Dorinda. Oh my gosh, Dorinda. Aw,
Good
it's
morning.
5 in the morning in Canada. Oh,
Good
shit.
to know.
We're talking about how we like our men.
And
You know what I
everything.
love?
I'm not
Ooh.
talking about that. They are. I'm
Yeah.
Ronan did not say actually how he liked his men. We just assumed he doesn't.
That's a fair assumption.
You know what I love? The smell of a good cigar. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, my Chinese uncle that was here and he made those fancy noodles. He smokes 3 cigars a day. My husband just told me the other day he was so offended because my uncle never offered him one. And I'm like, well, blah, 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 blah. My husband was like, no, He's like, I love Richard, but he just couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Because him and I, we would have offered. I'm like, yeah, but he's traveling and he does 3 a day. And and if he offered you one, he'd probably have to offer you one every day. And he's like, yeah, no. I love my husband. He's a straight shooter like me, but he wouldn't necessarily tell you all his deep thoughts like I do. But he thinks a lot like I do too. And and I got it. I got it. No, he smelled good. He had good like Cuban cigars. My Chinese uncle did.
Yeah. And they're not nasty.
I like a pipe. I like the pipe with the good
Pipe
tobacco.
juice.
The
Yes.
sweet tobacco is nice. Let the dogs drink
I'm
all the
thinking
water.
about
I'll be
getting
right
me a
back. I
pipe.
gotta get water. I'll be right back. Excuse me.
I was talking to the girls about finding a pipe.
Good pipe's hard to find. I ended up having to make one myself. They're kind of, I guess maybe they're not hard to find. They're just expensive. You can find some nice ones out there, but
Just figure maybe that'll make me smoke less if I just have to pack the tobacco in the pipe. But then I guess it would look kind of funny, a woman smoking a pipe, huh?
That's, I guess maybe anymore it should be accepted in this world, but that's pretty much what I do. I buy a bag of it's the American Spirits tobacco. It's supposed to be all natural and stuff. It's $20 and it lasts me 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
when I feel like blowing some smoke, that's what I do.
I just bought a pack of those because Sometimes my husband wants a cigarette and he'll go mooch one off my mom, and she smokes the cheapest, nastiest cigarettes, Seneca, and he can't even stand them. But he liked American Spirits, okay. And so I got him, I forgot they're in my car, and I've given her like 3 so far, but he's quit. He's got an app, and he's like, that's the other thing. I love to talk about this. My husband loves the AI, and he loves that bitch to tell him everything to do because it makes
Uh-oh.
him feel good, just like a video game. Our boys are fighting, and now that we've defended the men, I don't want to dog on them. They're not. This is not every man, but some men are fighting in the meta, and they are getting accolades and trophies and rewards and dopamine and serotonin hits, just like they get from YouTube and the likes and the shares and the views, you know? And that is satisfying the natural protection instinct in our men, I think. And maybe I'm totally wrong, but that's my fear.
Well, I'll say that I've never gotten into anything metaverse. I don't play video games. I tried. I mean, a lot of my friends do that. It was a big thing. I just never could. For me, it was always a matter of if I was going to spend that much time on something, I wanted to see a result. I wanted to see something. And to me, it just always been something more tangible.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to spend that much time on a video game or money, it's got to be something I can hold in my hands or benefit from in some way other than just entertainment.
I
One of
mean,
my
go ahead, Bonnie.
I'm sorry. One of my friends brought us a Wii for Christmas one year, and um, in this game it was called Animal Crossing, and so you have your own little town, and you grow stuff, and you have to water it every day. It was like what you really have to do, but I would get so mad because I would forget a couple of days to go water because I'd be busy doing other stuff. Then go back and everything's all brown and bleh.
Yeah, they had kids doing that with pets and like little babies and stuff,
Yeah,
you know, too.
that's the only
And
one that I ever.
that's all, when you think about it and you really think about it and you zoom out and you go, well, what's that shit about? That's about a long range plan. That's about a 20-year desensitizing you into programming you and to, I mean, it's more and more in just the last 2 weeks. I've gotten on to, my phone or my computer is telling me shit. I didn't fucking ask it to tell me data. I didn't ask it to gather on what I'm doing. I don't like it. It's
Yes,
creepy as fucking hell, and we're stuck in it, and it's aggravating, and I'm sure it's aggravating everybody because we're all being monitored and censored, and there's no way to escape it without, unless you want to, we'd have to just forsake all this. I mean, there's no way I could make a living and forsake it. There was a time when my husband and I, there was the 90s when men were getting really sucked into the pornography so badly that some men were not having computers, and they were really trying to not even be in that world. And then it came through on the phone. And then it came to a point where if you didn't have a computer, you aren't even going to get to do half the shit. You couldn't even do in COVID if you didn't have a computer. Come on. I don't even need to go into it. They have made it to where if you aren't in this meta, you are not going to get your shit. That's where it's at
yeah,
already. There already. That's depressing to me.
yeah.
I don't want to be in their shit, but I also don't want to
Just say
be.
no to.
Yeah, but I have friends who have a flip phone and know they have computers, but they live in this way where they think they're avoiding it all. They think they're under the radar. That's a bullshit lie, too. I mean, it's like you're in, man. You guess what? You're in. You know what? Stop fighting it. I have never had privacy. I have never thought I had privacy. You think you have privacy. You're not being monitored. That's just silly. That's just silly. But
Yes, even the cameras they have at the street lights.
the Samoan Watchman. What's up, Samoan Watchman? Have you dropped the link in a while to invite anybody else, or are you still
Yes.
wired? Okay, just checked. Just checking. I am so wired. I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's what I was going to send it to Stephanie. I was like, who was I going to send this to? Stephanie Kerr. But she subscribes to your channel. It was so nice to have her on the show the other day. Yes,
Yeah.
was that yesterday? Feels like
I
3
think
days
so.
ago.
Was that yesterday, Ronan?
Yeah,
my
that was
God.
yesterday.
Was. Feels like 3 days ago, doesn't it? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me.
Well, actually, it would be the day before
2 days.
yesterday.
Yes.
Now.
See, now it's 2 days. The Christian gal. Who's the Christian gal?
No.
Oh no, that's not controversial. That's a fact, Kim Haggerty.
Yes,
She
it
said,
is.
somebody left a gnarly message on my Rumble stream, and Bonnie and I've already shared it and talked about it, but he used the term divorce rape, and I never really heard that term before, but I have a few past friends who've done that multiple times. I've seen that happen. I know that it doesn't work out for some ladies, and that is they have to divorce, they have kids, you need the child support, the whole thing. No one's judging any of that, but the divorce raping is a real. I've known the last. There was a couple that bought property next to us. She was on her third marriage. She divorced that poor guy after they finally moved up here. She got horses right away, like they always do. He's busting a nut, trying to keep it going with firewood and everything. And she's talking to some fucking guy in Montana, and she packs up and leaves him. And then they divorce, and then she takes half his shit. That's divorce raping. You make a vow.
Oh, I thought you
make
said raped.
No, raping. They're raping. They
I
they
hear
marry guys to take half their shit. Once pornography came out, guess what, ladies? You are not needed anymore. I'm sorry to say, but shit, they
Well,
don't
that's not
need.
necessarily true.
No, but that is a part truth, and you know it. Guys would rather do that than deal with the baggage and bullshit. That's what the guy wrote on my stream. Well, he didn't say anything about pornography, but that's the unspoken thing that's there that we don't talk about.
I mean, I don't blame all women. I blame like the feminist movement that pushed for all
Yes.
this.
Of course, we did that first.
Crazy
Of course, we're doing
stuff,
that first.
you know.
That's the
Yes.
first problem. It's a
And
combination.
look how many women believe that they can live without men too, though.
And be men. And men are women too, and they're going to compete with us and fucking get the trophies and the glory for.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, my heart doesn't really break all that much for the story of the guy that you told, where he married the woman, she divorced him, takes half his stuff. Like, he, as a guy, like, you still know people, you know what you're getting into. If you're chasing that,
I'm
trophy,
saying
like
on the
you're
third
saying,
marriage, honey, Ronan, these women do it professionally. I'm
Yeah.
not saying. I'm not talking about the woman who.
Well,
That's her story. The guy ran off with someone else. I don't even care why you got divorced. You're all entitled to your story. I'm not taking it from you. I'm saying there are these bitch hoes that are out there doing that professionally. I had a girlfriend who did that. She
Yep.
just, that's what they do. They look for men with money. They get them in. They
Yeah, but what I'm saying is a real man can see through that, and the ones that fall for that aren't real men. Like I mean, we're not stupid. We know it ain't. It's all. If it's too good to be true, it ain't
well,
true. You know what I
the
mean? Like,
devil. There's bad things can happen to any marriage. It doesn't mean that that the women necessarily planned to destroy it. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when it does fall apart, they're gonna get theirs, and that's what they do. That's what they do.
Some. I'm just gonna say some.
And some men do too. Shit, Sarah's paying her loser ex-husband who cheated on her with her freaking sister, for crying out loud. And
Yeah.
he's getting child support. The fuck that?
Yeah.
Yeah, some women are paying child support too. I know, because as a business, they come at us and say, you better take this money out of this check for this, man or woman or whoever, because they owe child support. And we got to do it. You have to do it as a business. You don't have a choice. So yeah, it happens to women too. And it's happened to women a lot more in the last 10 or 20 years than it used to, but it's fair enough. It's fair enough. Why shouldn't it happen to them? Sometimes that's how it is, but that wasn't right in Sarah's case. It's because one works and the other one's a fucking loser who stays at home and one's taking care of the kids. Come on. That's ridiculous. Hey, be happy.
What's wrong with staying at home taking care of the kids? What'd you just say?
I think
I
that's
said
yeah.
I said that it's because when they decide who's going to have to pay that child support, it's because one of them is working. Like in Sarah's case, she works. Her deadbeat loser husband, who stays home and doesn't do shit, and she has to pay child support for him. Why?
Mm.
Because she has the money, and the government says, well, we need the money. Somebody needs to pay us some of it so you can get it.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Why is she paying a deadbeat loser man for child support? The kid's with her too. He doesn't even take care of the kid. They live with her. They all live with her. He's an asshole. He literally fucked her twin sister. Come on. The government doesn't care about any of that. It doesn't.
No.
And you know what? Sarah forgave her twin sister, by the way, because she loves Jesus. They were all on meth at the time. And you know what? It's like the real show, that show Shameless. Anybody watch that show Shameless?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have.
About the South Side of Chicago? That is a hard show to watch. That's where my husband and I grew up. We did not grow up far from that. We didn't have that kind of weird sicko drama. Well, I had some of it in my life, but not on me. But I've seen it in relatives and in other people. But I didn't live through that. Hi, Be Happy. Did we say hello to you? Did I say hello to her yet?
No.
I'd be happy.
I'd be happy.
Good to see you, honey. Oh, it's like 5 a.m. on the East Coast, so now you're gonna get people waking up.
Yes, we're getting ready for work and stuff.
What's going on here? Well, Dia's on a tear, and she's been just letting it rip and calling for D-Dog all fucking night long, and he's not saying hello to us. So whatever, D-Dog. T-Girl. Losers on both sides. You've seen the fathers get screwed by women, penalized. Go ahead, Bonnie. I'm sorry. I was just reading Deb's thing.
But those are the things we need to change. We need to make sure that we are teaching our kids and grandkids and greats, all that this is the man's. It's
roles, you think?
Well, see, I shouldn't even say roles.
Well, I know where you were going with it.
But
Well, it's people can decide. I know some great Mr. Moms or Mr. Dads or what's it
Yes.
called, whatever. Like, couples have that prerogative, and I'm sure that goes back to the beginning of time, where there was women and men, and one of them already had a trade when they hooked up, right? Like some women were good with textiles and fabrics, and let's just say that way, and men were great with cooking and doing chores and like
I
home
miss
chores or whatever. That is not anything to be looked down upon, but it
no.
still is, even
I'd
though
say
people try to pretend like it's not. But my cousin's a nurse, and her husband has been the stay home guy. And I so respect that they made that choice. And he's, their child has had him to be there for him. And that's better than a daycare worker. And he's done the laundry and kept the house clean. And, I just think that's boss, that a couple gets to decide who is going to stay home, who is going to make the money. And, right? Like, it doesn't matter.
well, now it takes at least the two incomes, if not more.
It shouldn't. If you're not feeding this corrupt government with the taxes, which I can't convince my husband necessarily to do, but you want to talk about bravery, Bonnie. If people were willing to stop asking this government for permission with their driver's licenses and they're paying those taxes, how that's a matter of courage, is it not?
Well, yeah, because
People
you're
don't have
going
it.
to have some
Not
resistance a lot. I mean,
Well,
here,
I've talked to people and they get to that point and it's like, well, are you willing to drive around without a plate and have an officer pull you over and go toe to toe with him and possibly go to jail? Fuck no. A lot of people are not willing to do that. So, okay, keep feeding the beast then. That's where we're at. That's what
yeah,
I think.
that's
And
I think that's what we were saying last night. How much are you willing to sacrifice for this?
well, I mean, I've gone pretty deep with a lot of situations and I didn't know they were going to go that deep. And what it amounted to for me was exposing it, and that was okay. It didn't bother me that nothing has really come, no fruit has come from some of those things yet, but it's part of my story. It's part of the county story, and it is going to matter. It does matter now. It's just, it is so bad here. I'm trying to figure out, I'm still paralyzed with trying to figure out my first move. I want to file a slew of affidavits on all of these people for so many things,
Yeah,
and but yeah, back to the men and women issue. That is, I think that's a great. I think that would, relationships, Bonnie. You're always been about the
yes.
relationships and community. Frog. I blocked your ass. Why are you talking to me? You want me to yell at you? You want me to yell at you, Frog?
Because
You know
he's
you
being good. He's a nice little
you
frog.
being good. Oh, you better be good, Frog,
Don't
because
hang
last
on.
time we were around, Frog was telling me I was wasting my time. I love it when people tell me I'm wasting my time or that I'm the reason why they're sick or whatever. It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
He just plays around like that because the first time I saw him in chat, he said, "Oh, this is the nursing home channel."
Or he's paid opposition and we should wise up to that. That's all I'm
How do you
saying.
get those jobs? That's my question. Like I've heard that paid
Ask
opposition.
Frog.
Like
How do you
Frog,
get that job,
hey, can
Frog?
you
Tell me.
email me an application, dude? I think I'd probably
Right.
be good at it.
We could all go into chats causing trouble.
Hey, if you
Tell
can't beat
me.
him, join him. I'm just playing.
Gotta make a living here.
A drone show? Oh, love you, T girl, honey. Sleep good. Ah, Frog, you've been around for 3 years. You're part of this group, aren't you? I do. I
Day
do
teacher.
love. I do love the familiar names. I love you people that all kept your names. I tried to do a different name one time and go in a chat. It was like I felt like such a poser. I feel bad for people that have to do that. Like I get it. If I were some people, that's what I would do, or I would just lurk and never talk. But you know what? Kudos to those of you who have taken a lot of stuff and just kept your name, and we've just kept on being who we are. And look at us, here we are.
Yeah,
It's kind of
I think
wild.
it shows as part of this whole experience is growth, right? We're never the same every day we wake up. It's a new
Mhm.
day, right? We could be better. It could be a bad day, right? To be honest, but
You.
we grow one way or another. We grow every day.
Yes.
Well, some people are regressing. I think. I mean, they don't. There's so. Isn't it getting more intense with the level of evil that just seems in everybody's life? It just seems like
Yes.
there's a there's a horrible story I have to share on a stream. I don't want to get into the whole thing, but basically, one of my neighbors lost one of her horses due to another neighbor. She's got these three magnificent. Well, she had these three black Frisian horses,
Oh my goodness. I
and
love visions.
this neighbor, he's been up here 3 years, and he's from like Southern California, and yeah, and
Yeah.
he, these people, they're like city slickers that came to move to the country, like I was 30 years ago. But I actually didn't get to move to the country. We moved to Eureka, which wasn't exactly the country, but still, it was culture shock. Anyway, well, these guys, I guess she told me her horse, Menno, 3 years ago when they first moved up here, they started shooting guns and stuff, and he injured his knee. And then last week, or
Lucky.
no, it was like 3 weeks ago, he got a new gun. He got some new gun, and he didn't shoot the horse, but he scared the shit out of the horse. And the
Mm-hmm.
horse injured his knee again. And when she got to him, I asked her, well, what happened? How did you know? She had to put him down that day because when she got to him, he was spinning around. And the only time I've ever seen that happen where an animal spins around like that is when my husband shot the bear. And it is very heartbreaking because that's it. It's just tragic. And these are magnificent creatures. These are her babies. The woman's never had any children. There were three of them, and now there's two. And this horse, she had to put it down 3 weeks ago. And I got her email just yesterday, and I lost it immediately when I started reading it. And I'm not going to get into all the details right now, but I'll talk about it later. But the title was "This Guy Killed My Horse," and she wants me to write, if I feel led, to write a letter to him. He was asking for feedback. He also has put a motocross track up there, and the thing is, she rents this parcel for her horses to be down there. She's not even down there with them. And if it were me, I would have moved them. And like I told her, my husband said when they first moved there, that's why people like that move out to the country, so they can do that kind of stuff, shoot guns, motocross. So it's like, and I told her that, so I'm kind of in the middle of it with my feelings about it. But these people they're really heartless, and they're just really they don't care. And so that's where that's at. That was also this week. So I
Goodness.
just found out about it. Yeah, and I called her like within 20 seconds of reading the email. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea." She put him down like 3 weeks ago, and now she's you know what it is she's a very docile, introverted person who is finding her voice, and now she doesn't want her horse's death to be in vain. And I'm probably gonna. I mean, if she wants to stream with me, I'm gonna ask her if she wants to tell the story. Um, but it's it's a lot of shit going on this week. It was on top of that, everybody in YouTube's like self imploding, and people can't handle the stress and blah 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 blah. Well, then get off it. Get off it, like I do. Don't stay there and torture yourself and blame other people that it's too stressful. That's not fair. I have a job to do. Bonnie has a job to do. Anyone streaming has to do their calling. But if you can't handle the stress, don't stay in there. I'm going to start putting out a disclosure on my streams, I guess, because I'm
Well,
so
that's really, you just have to, you yourself, and well, all of us. I wasn't just directing it at you. Just need to be right there with Jesus leading the way, because that's where is um okay, like last night or whenever it was, when I said Satan reigns. Reigns means overall. So if he was given free reign over the earth, the whole earth, that means overall. So that's our battle, is to still have the faith and follow Jesus no matter what. And that is how we are fighting the evil, right? Or is
yeah,
that
yeah, it is. Well, say it again. I was typing. I'm not, I'm
no?
sorry. I wasn't gonna pretend. I actually understood what the hell you just said, but I heard it, but I didn't comprehend it. I heard it, but I didn't understand it. So thought I could pull that off. But could you please repeat what you just said, please?
Take the dog out. Okay. Okay. If God gave Satan reign over the earth, that means rule, right? Over everything on the earth.
Dominion.
Yes. So
Yes.
if
Yes.
he is the ruler of the earth, then our battle is being fought just by having faith and following Jesus no matter
Our
what.
rule. Our rule. I don't understand that question.
Our fight, that's how we're fighting the evil, is to by keeping faith.
No, that's not enough. It's not enough for
No,
me.
it's not enough, but it's
No.
it's it's still,
It's the beginning. It's the foundation.
yes.
It's the foundation. And it's true. And as I read and study the Old Testament and the New, in the Old Testament, God commanded them to push back on the Canaanites, which are the problem today, with that still serve Molech and Baal. Those evil people, those Satanists, that goes back to God telling them, destroy that. Don't save a single one of them. Wipe them out. They were not wiped out. And we're still dealing with that problem. And that also, I believe, also goes back to Ishmael and Sarah's little solution to her barren womb problem, right? So that's, human nature there, getting involved in God's plan. Oh, I'm not pregnant yet. Well, shit, I'm 96 years old. Probably not going to be pregnant. So we do have dominion over this earth. We do. And so I
I
don't
think
know
it's
what your question was. And I don't know why I'm on full screen. What the heck is with the sheep? Are you trying to
Because I
read it or
was
something?
looking to see what your icon was and what your little white thing said under there.
Oh, it says I'm not the black sheep of the family, or
You're the
it says I'm not
tie-dye
the black
one.
sheep. I'm the tie-dye one, and my white thing says straight shooter. I'm a straight shooter. Just in case any of you didn't know that about me. I don't. If you've been hiding under a fucking rock for the last 4 years, I'm a straight shooter. Just so you know, it's a secret. Shh! Don't tell anybody. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I think we all figured that out.
Hmm.
And I'm glad for it. You're honest.
Well, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and it's not. You and I've never had a problem with telling the truth, and you're a straight shooter too. People might not think that, but I've had Bonnie put me in my place more than once, and I appreciate that about her. She is a straight shooter. She might be quiet and she might be reserved sometimes, but when she's ready to tell you what she really thinks and feels, she will tell you. And I love that I can trust her to tell me honestly how she's seeing things. And her and I have always checked in with each other. Sometimes we don't see what. I mean, lately it's been the longest stint of not streaming for you and I both. Like, evening streams have never been my thing except for in the early days. And you saw my channels just kept getting taken down and taken down. I can't stream on YouTube, you guys. They'll just take my channel, like, chat room shows. They just, I could do it and then I just got to delete it. That's what I figured out. But I just always check in with Bonnie, and we've never had a falling out. We've never, not to say we probably haven't been, maybe said things that we didn't like, but I've never actually been like, oh, that fucking Bonnie. Like, I've just
No,
never
we
had
don't.
that. I
We don't
mean,
hold a grudge. We may not have the same opinion about something, but
no, yeah,
it still we can still be friends and work it out. That's the way everyone should be. You were talking about relationships a while ago, and every relationship should be treated that way. Whether it's with your kids, grandkids, spouse,
right,
parents,
yes,
friends.
yeah. And none of my friends that aren't that way are my friends for very long, because they either misunderstand me or they have expectations that are too high or that I will not meet. And I try to let people know, like, like, I'm 52 years old. I'm not fucking around here. I could die tomorrow. Just cuz, who knows? A car accident, you don't know. Seriously, I've lived that way a long, long time, and I like it that way. I
Yes,
I I am after life, and I am after God and what he wants of me. I'm so on his good humor. I don't care what anybody thinks, likes, doesn't like. You That is not my problem at all. I want people to like me, sure I do. But I want the right people to like me. The ones that God is looking at going, yeah, these are your people. They get you. Oh, they're going to tell you you're wrong here. You better hear what she says. You better not reject what he says. And yeah, it's not easy to take that stuff, but if you're a real person that's not a narcissist, you better know how to take criticism or feedback or whatever you want to call it. It's just,
and
you know,
that's true. I would rather somebody be honest with me, like, and that's why I read the chat, listen to the chat, because if they're telling me something's up or that I don't know about, the sound, I never know what the sound is like, never know what's going on because my computer overheats and it gets crazy, and that's I thought I wasn't going to be able to do lives anymore just because of that. But um, this time is actually good for me. And
Yeah, late, middle of the night.
yeah, now I'm rethinking my time zone because,
Hmm.
but then I don't know because earlier, I mean, I'm telling you, I was going nuts. I kept trying to watch movies, couldn't find a good one. I would get into it, and I was like, why am I watching this crap? Turn it off. Then I was reading my David and Goliath book,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Before you texted me, you were so funny. You're like, "Oh my god, I'm going crazy." I'm like, "Oh, I was on Rumble. I was watching Glenn Beck. There was a 10-minute video about I can't remember what it was. A really good. It was good. I think Echo sent it to me. She sends me good stuff, and I go on Rumble and BitChute a lot if there's nobody on YouTube, which I like listening to chats, but I've really grown weary of the same old conversations, and I cannot listen to them anymore.
yeah,
If we're not talking about remedy, if we're not talking about relationships and connecting, it doesn't always have to be about Jesus, but in my mind, it always does go back to Jesus. So I don't always have to be cramming that down people's throat. But if they're
yes,
looking for
he's our
solutions,
foundation.
he is our foundation, and I'm not ashamed of that.
No,
So, but there's a way to be inviting, and I hope that that's
yes,
what we are for people. Your room is more inviting than mine. I'm I am freaking on a tear about Humble a lot, and I'm not gonna be apologizing for that. It's just
right.
not gonna. Yeah,
But that's
it's
why
just.
I like having you up here because then you can just be you.
Thank you, Brew. I love you, honey.
Love you too.
Yeah, I mean, I am an asshole sometimes because I'm an asshole.
But
And, uh, you know,
that's whenever I was reading the book and then I was like, okay, this isn't doing it. And so then I went in there and I just chopped my hair off and I was like, okay, my hair feels lighter. That's good. And I was just like going nuts. And I'm like, are you busy? What are you doing?
yeah, she did.
I was trying to think who would be awake right now. D. She's 2 hours earlier. She might.
Yeah, he's one of those insomniacs, too. I'm not wise. I was,
Surprise me because you never know with Ronan. And
I
he
was,
did go to
yeah,
bed.
around it. Yeah, I was thinking about him too. And I thought, oh, he wasn't around.
That's
Did
probably
somebody
why
else?
I woke up so early.
Where's Sean Stryker? I thought he was up in the night working in the night shift. He was on. You weren't in the meeting tonight, Bonnie. I did go to it. It was good.
I know, and I should have.
Uh, and I feel good about going to it because I feel like I'm doing something that is remedy and solution driven. I love being with the assembly. I love hearing. There was 20 people on the call. I think at the most, Avako Jen was on the call. She actually called me.
Oh, wow.
She's been calling me for this week. She's called me a couple times, but I haven't been able to connect with her. And I let her know, okay, we're having this meeting if you want to come on. So she called in. I don't think she was videoing in, but she called in. And
Good.
yeah. And so, and Mama T, I've connected with this week as well. And we were supposed to, she wants to stream. There's a lady that she was pushing to be mayor, to run for mayor, and she's going to. And so pretty soon I'll be streaming with Mama T about um, her endorsement. And, Avako Jen has been in the fight for a long time, and I love the fighters. I love, and the Patriots. We are rats in a cage. And I want to tell you something. It is absolutely a plan of the devil when he separates us and divides us. And when you start to see that, you will stop to take things personally and realize that it's not you. It's not about you
That's right.
at all. It
And
never was.
that's good that you're checking on people. That's what we need to do more of. I mean, I
Hmm.
need to do more of is checking
Well,
on.
Bonnie, you, me, and you, myself, Mama T, and Avako Jen, Devil Dog, Indy.
Yes.
Um, let's see. We've got a handful of people that have actually worked on remedy in their
Oh,
communities.
there she is.
I was gonna send you the link, girl. I knew you had her channel. We gonna sit there and type all night or what? 2:40 in the morning. Stephanie. It was so fun being on with her last night. I love that we can formulate a wild, eclectic panel anytime we want
Yep.
from this group of people. Look, you guys that have never gotten on panel, you know you can get on here with your avatar. And you know it would tickle shit out of us if
Yep.
any one of you that never freaking gets on this panel blew our minds and got on panel one night, because we have entertained you people for 3 years. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys that stay in chat. I love chat. I love chat. I love to be in a chat. I love to watch the chat. I really try to make sure I highlight all the comments um, on my YouTube, because I know I'm going to delete it. And well, not just that I'm going to delete. Sometimes I don't delete it, but that it's going to be on Rumble. And so if it's going to be on Rumble, if you highlight them, it's nice because then they can see those on Rumble, because Rumble doesn't have a chat. But is Ronan still taking out his dog? I don't want to disclude him.
No, I'm here. I'm just muting
Okay.
because my dog's eating and drinking water, and
Oh,
he's
goody.
loud. But I think he's done. He just finished. He's looking at me now. So
Stressed. Uh-oh. I wonder how the house thing. Well, her husband. I think her husband was. Yeah.
Here somewhere.
Yeah. Brew must be the Holy Spirit and all the prayers. Oh, that was my comment. Sheep. I got some friends that'll do that to people. I was never. I'll bet people think that I was that person that would do that to people, but I actually would. I never did that to anybody. When when my friend Linda and who else did it? Louie, I think. When they walk by people that were wearing a mask, like they were like, ah. I was like, oh my gosh, don't do that. I know people think I would do stuff like that, but I didn't do stuff like that, you guys. People think I'm really aggressive and combative and confrontational, and it's true. I am when you bring a fight to me, but if not, that's not what I don't enjoy that. But I'm not cowering from it either. You bring a fight to me, you better be prepared. You know, you
yeah.
better be prepared, because
Well, and I think
I'm
that's
not
what it's
backing down.
about.
Community.
As we kind of describe ourselves as spiritual warriors, I think first and foremost we're living, right? We're living on this land and trying to live
Mm-hmm.
according to how God wants us to live, and we
Mm-hmm.
fight the battles that are presented before us as we're doing that. If we go out looking for war, I mean, we'll find it. It's
Oh, yeah.
everywhere, you
Well,
know.
Bronan, what do you think about the church right now? What's your position on the
It,
church today?
I mean, I think it's when you say the church, I know what you're talking about, like the organized buildings with people in them, and the different denominations that make up the body of Christ and stuff. I think what we're seeing in this time, first and foremost, is the people in the church have to decide. We're being shown the truth of what's going on in the churches and in the big business churches, I should say, I guess more so. But people are being shown the truth, and they're being forced to decide stick
Mm-hmm.
with this or do something else. The same thing we're being shown with everything else in the world, politics, all the stuff. I mean, it's always been there. We've kind of always, maybe it's been in the back of some people's mind it gets brushed away, but now it's, you're being forced to choose, and you're willingly doing the same thing or saying, okay, no, enough of that, and doing something else, figuring it out.
But look at my friends and even my cousin. They're still in football and Disney and Netflix. They don't give a shit, Ronan.
Yeah,
The
well,
church. This is the church. These are the high places. These are the idols. These are the false gods we are warned about over and over and over in the Bible, that these people, I don't want to say they claim to be Christians, because I hate that saying. If you're a Christian, you're a Christian. I get it. But come on.
Stephanie.
Hi, kids. How are you?
Well, shit, Abby. Let me put my hair down. Woo!
Yeah. I put my hair down too, but it's a fucking mess right now.
We are the church.
Yeah.
that's just
Uh-oh.
it. I mean,
You want to know why Dee's loose lips might sink some ships tonight? Because Dee's been enjoying this delicious bottle of, what is this?
Organic red. Ooh, yum.
From Humboldt County. From Humboldt County.
Nice.
Can you believe that shit?
Are you doing the whole bottle yourself?
No, I'm not going to drink a whole fucking bottle, Stephanie. What's the matter
come
with you?
on. Live a little.
I was in a hot tub last night. I drank a little bit of a, over half of a bottle last night, and I was in the hot tub. I'm like, too much wine, too much wine, too much wine. And I haven't drank wine in months. I usually only drink wine in the winter, but I'm trying not to drink beer right now because I'm married to fucking keto. Married to a fucking keto head.
Just don't drink Bud Light. That's all we ask.
Oh, I ain't. Anybody in here drinking Bud Light, get the fuck out. Okay? Get the fuck out right now.
Gee, my goodness. Hi, Ronan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm stressed, but okay.
Oh, shit. Where's my glasses?
Oh, look. You called him up.
5 times. 5 fucking times I've been calling you. Where you been? Devil
Me?
Dog. This
Devil
fucking
Dog.
guy. What's up, Stephanie?
Well, I'm stressed. My husband is in Texas right now, and tomorrow's a big day, and I can't sleep, and I've been packing, and yeah, just yeah, it's
Sleepy dog.
You can't sleep either? I can't. I'm so fucking wired. I'm like, I should be filing paperwork like Devil Dog. I am ready to affidavit up the ass here. I'm ready. So
wow.
ready.
Who are you gonna throw affidavits to?
Everybody, all of them,
Just
all of them. The Planning Commission, the City Council, the Board of Supervisors, you name it, they're getting it.
Wow, my goodness.
You know what I don't want to do is ever hurt a mom and pop business, even though a lot of them hurt me. I never want to do that. I never want to do that.
No, it's bad karma. Let that karma be somebody else's.
Fuck
not
karma.
yours,
I don't give a shit about fucking karma. Fuck karma.
You know what?
Fucking karma.
I think
Devil Dog, you see all these old names in here?
I know,
He
right?
knows these old names. There's been a lot of people that have come out of the woodwork, and I'm so happy to see you guys.
Who else is here? Kino. Hi, Kino. Hi, Kim. Wow.
I love when you put your fingers up there. Somebody did that in the prayer-a-thon, remember? Everybody put their hands up there. That was really something.
Yeah.
Oh, Dee's drunk. No.
Not yet.
No, it was. I'm telling you it was.
You know what? Oh, hang on one sec. You know what I'm going to do?
Get drunk? No, I'm just kidding. You're not going to.
I only got one kidney left. I can't get drunk anymore. Damn it!
I can only drink beer, wine, or champagne. I can only drink beer, wine, or champagne. I do not drink no hard liquor or anything like that.
I wonder if I have any mead left. My sister came to visit me for 3
Meat?
weeks.
Oh, mead.
And
I
oh
thought you
yeah.
said meats. I'm like, meat?
Oh
I thought you
yeah.
said meats. I'm like, meat?
Mm.
Hey,
Yeah,
Devil
Thai.
Dog. I want to know if Devil Dog ever wears a suit.
Hmm.
You ever put a suit on, Devil Dog? Oh, that's
I'm
funny.
gonna see
Sorry.
if I have any cherry liqueur. I'm gonna pour myself a little. I
Oh, I'm
made
so
homemade cherry liqueur. It
upset.
was so
Oh,
good.
God. Shut up. Please don't say that again.
Hang on a sec. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Yuck. Oh,
But
my
that
God.
must have been one of those nights.
Please, no, God. Like NyQuil? Ugh. I cannot do cherry medicine. So nasty.
When I was in school, one of my friends always had a flask of cherry vodka.
Ugh. Peppermint schnapps was the
I didn't
thing.
even
And
know what schnapps was back then.
oh, I knew all the schnapps. Peach schnapps, peppermint schnapps. Do you know their
He's
liquor?
being nasty.
Oh, oh, their liquor. Oh, their liquor.
Homemade cherry liqueur.
Oh, God, no. I'll be right back. I need to walk away for a second.
So yes, things are getting pretty hot and heavy here. Ooh, that's beautiful. Just a sip. Nothing too major. My husband is gonna call me up 8 o'clock in the morning. 5 hours. We're gonna look at our first house.
Cool.
And he's
How
gonna
was
be
his travel? Was he, so how long is that flight anyway?
4 hours.
Oh, yeah, it is a long flight. It's
4
surprising
hours.
how far Texas is from California. I was surprised it took 4 hours because I've traveled to Chicago for years and it's a
Mhm.
4 hour flight to Chicago. And I just wouldn't think that to Texas, when I flew into Fort Worth, my gosh, I think that flight was 4.5 hours. It was a long
Did
flight.
they? Was it a layover?
No, it flies.
Yeah, no.
It flies direct, so he didn't have any stops or anything, which is good.
Did he
He
go
just
into
We
went.
were.
Austin? Or
He went directly to Austin.
Mm,
Yeah,
mhm.
he went directly to Austin, and then he's got a hotel near Temple, I believe.
uh,
And the first house is where we discussed yesterday.
yeah.
And then there is one that's right after that, on the town right after that, and then two more on the town after that, and then two more on the other side of 35. So yeah, his last house he's gonna look at 4 o'clock, and then we'll make a decision from there.
Oh my goodness. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to look at them all tomorrow?
Everything, yeah, because he's gonna be flying home on Sunday. He's gonna be flying
Well,
home.
that's good. Yeah, why not line them all up? I mean, he's looking at
Mhm.
6 houses or what?
Yeah, we're looking at six
Yeah,
houses. He's going to live chat me, and we're gonna
that's
tour it
great.
together. Yeah,
Yeah. Why didn't
but
you go?
because
Oops.
we've got a cat, and it's a pain in the butt to drag the dog
A
around, and
cat? I
just
mean, oh my
I'm gonna
God.
hold the fort down.
I mean, I could see just one of you going. I just wondered why it doesn't. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
this is the first time we've traveled. I mean, he's traveled without me. This is the first time
What? The
we've
first
been
time?
apart. This is the first time we've traveled. Yeah,
Oh, yuck. That makes me want to
yeah.
throw up too. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Can I throw up some more tonight from
Mm.
Stephanie Kerr?
Are you throwing up tonight? Why are you throwing up?
Because you were showing some nasty cherry liqueur
It
that
is
would make me want to
delicious. Are you
throw up in
kidding
my
me?
mouth. It looked like NyQuil. Okay, it looked like
No,
NyQuil.
no, it's beautiful. It's
And
red and it's beautiful and it tastes really sweet. Nom, 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 nom. I brewed this in my backyard in 2019. 2018. That was a
What?
good bottle.
Meat?
No,
You
this
grew
isn't meat.
meat?
This is cherry liqueur.
Oh, what? Oh, I ate my only cherry off my cherry tree today.
My
It's the first
strawberries are.
time I've ever had a cherry, like a fruit, off my. I've had apples and pear. I had a pear, one pear last year,
Mm-hmm,
one red pear.
mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you guys, I was pretty freaking happy. That
All
was
right.
amazing. That was
Nice.
6 years to get to that point.
Wait until next year. They'll just go off the
No,
chart.
the birds are eating them. There was another one on there and it was gone. So, and
Hang
if it
old DVDs or CDs that you
oh
don't
yeah, that's
want,
what I need to do. Yeah, I
or
was thinking I need to put a net over there because those fucking crows. Well, I stopped shooting at them with the BB gun, but it was just air. It was just air. But when I first moved there, because they would sit out there in the trees, caw, 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 caw. They never shut the fuck up. I would go out there with the just a BB gun and just
Mhm.
the fuck
we
out of here, you fucking crows. I don't
we
want to
have a
listen to you.
mockingbird that starts at like 3 o'clock in the
Get the
morning,
fuck out of here. I want peace and
and
quiet. Fuck up.
it mocks the it mocks the car alarms in the area. So it's beep, 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 beep. And it sounds just like the car alarms. And you're like, oh, it's 3 in the morning. Shut up.
That's great though. Oh my god, that's
Ah, and
weird.
it sits in the peach tree, like right above my back door, where the bedroom is. And it's like 3 o'clock. Come on, bird. Really?
Wow.
Yeah. 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 And then we have this one little bird we call Fat Boy. 3 years ago, he was an injured bird, and I arranged a bunch of potted plants around him so he could heal without the cats or the critters getting to him. And I fed him, and he finally flew off. But we call him Fat Boy. He's been back every year for 3 years now. Fat.
Oh, is he a crow or a raven?
No, it's a little like finch.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
little finch, yeah.
Oh.
And I've got pyracantha berries coming up. And about 2 in the afternoon when it's really hot, the birds start eating the old pyracantha berries and they get drunk. And they'll fly up onto the bush and they'll eat the berries and they'll just poof, fall on the ground.
How funny. Oh my god.
Yeah. We're gonna have all kinds of when we get our place. I got a phone call from the realtor, and the peaches are coming in and the nuts are starting to come in, so I'm gonna have pecans and peaches when I get there. Yay.
You
Nice.
guys did you
Yeah.
put your place on the market yet?
Nope. That's what I've been doing today all day. I mean, we didn't get to bed until real late last night, huh, Dee? And I got up this morning and drove into the airport, and I've just been knocking this place out, packing and cleaning, and as it all gets done, we'll put it on the market then. But I mean, we've been in this place since 1999. It's
Oh,
In
you're
that
down
I
there.
totally
Your roots
understand.
are deep. Your roots are deep. What is that noise in the background? What am I
Is that,
hearing?
you hear my chickens? Maybe they're starting to wake up. I'm
Like,
sorry.
does somebody have somebody
Like,
contained
they're
somewhere?
so annoying. Yeah, I do.
It sounds like someone's freaking screaming. I'm like,
They are. They're contained in their coop until the sun comes up.
okay, Ronan.
I'm
We're
kidding.
not allowed to have chickens here. I live in a mobile home park.
That's
Yes,
bullshit.
I'm Tuelo
No,
trash.
this is not America if you can't even have a chicken. That's fucking
But there's no
ridiculous.
chickens allowed in there.
I don't
And
care.
there's
That's
somebody on the other side of the park, the trailer park, that's got a freaking male chicken, and he crows like at sunrise. It's like,
I
oh,
fed
man.
those rooster cocks back into the wild. There you go, into the circle of life. Or however, you're going back into nature. Bye.
I don't know the first thing about raising chickens. I got a book
I like
yesterday on self-sufficiency, and it covers everything. Here, let me grab it. I want to turn you guys onto this. Maybe you guys have it, but if you don't, let me turn this on to you. Hang on, let me take care of it.
I was at a Grateful Dead concert in 1980. I think it was 88.
Mm-hmm.
My husband had taken me there, and we saw 2 shows. Then they took a day off in the middle, and they did 2 more shows. And my husband went to go to camping in Minnesota after the first 2 shows, and I went home, and I cried the night they played the 3rd concert. And so the 4th day, I hitchhiked on, I don't know where it was, Chicago. I think it was called I-94 Expressway or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my thumb out there, and I got back to that Grateful Dead concert that 4th night. And they played Blackbird as an encore. And I didn't really know that song. I was like probably 15 years old. I was super young. And I knew the song, but I didn't know it was a Beatles song. And
Mm-hmm.
I was tripping balls, that I didn't even have.
When I was in high school, we had to do a
Epic,
final
epic.
project. We had to do a final project for choir, and
Yeah.
I did Blackbird with an acoustic guitar in the back. It was really good. I thought I got an A. I can't
It's an
carry a
awesome
tune, but I got
song.
an A for the effort. So hang
I'll
on, let me grab
bet
that book.
you can. I'll bet you can carry it too.
No,
Yeah,
God, no.
I was like, what is this song? I knew the lyrics. I was so high on acid, and just that was like, my God, I was 15 years old. I hitchhiked to that concert. And you know what? The first song they played when I arrived, like got there, and I got to the, like not the front row, but that first section where you're in almost like the front. You could get to the front row if you want. I'm not a front row girl. You know what the first song they played that concert was? So Glad You Made It. They were so glad I was made it. Okay, that's what was up. I was tripping balls.
They were singing to you.
Fuck yeah, they were. You know they were. What is it? Self-sufficient. John Seymour. Who is that? Jane Seymour's husband?
No, it's by John. It's life. It's the self-sufficient life and how to live it. And this book is like the Bible for homesteading. I mean, it's got everything from how to grow your chickens and your cows to cutting them up in little pieces and eating them and preserving them and workshop. And I mean,
Good.
energy and waste. It's
Wait,
even
I
got
need to
set
write
up.
Storybook like that. I got a storybook like that. It's called The Country Survival Skills or something.
It's got setups for like 1 acre farms, 5 acre farms, 1 acre holdings with a cow, grazings, and intensive gardening. I mean, here, this is a 5. Look at this. They've got a 5.
Self-sufficient what?
It's
Homesteading.
it's got
Yeah, the layout. How you lay it out.
for
Oh,
5 acres.
like the owner, the home builder of my property didn't do this shit.
The name of
I
the book.
know what it's like when somebody builds a homestead and they don't take care of erosion control and shit like that. Yeah, it's a good idea to follow this kind of shit. Okay. Yeah, makes
You
sense.
get this on the Devil's Advocate called Amazon, and the hardbound is $22, and then the spiral binding is $67.
Is
But I
he an
like the
American? Oh,
Yeah.
it's a DK
John
book.
what?
DK
Pardon?
books are good. I like DK
Senior.
books.
But
What?
this is like, I was thumbing through this, and this is just amazing. It's got different breeds of chickens, and how to grow
Show me
your
a
trees
picture.
and how to grow mushrooms.
I haven't seen one picture.
I just showed it to you
She showed us. It showed the land layout.
for
No
the
one.
5 acre. Hang on, let me
Okay,
pull it up.
I've seen one picture. I want to see another picture.
Pests and diseases in your garden.
Show me.
Pests and diseases in your garden.
Yep,
There you go.
that's real. That's a real problem.
Yeah.
You can still start a garden right now, probably.
I'm not starting anything right
Start.
now. My neighbor has
Not
weeds growing
you.
everywhere.
I mean, other people, not you. I wouldn't start a garden if I were you.
Lean-to greenhouses.
Yep, that's pretty cool. I want to do that at
That's
my
what I
place.
have. That's what my greenhouse is. But the
Uh,
roof isn't see-through. It sucks.
um, chickens. It's got a whole chapter on chickens. Everything from
You thought about the chickens
cooping
again.
them to cooking them.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it goes over, uh,
You'll
land
have to
mash,
text me the name
breeds,
of it. I
geese,
know I didn't get
ducks,
it all.
pigeons, turkeys, rabbits, hedging and fencing. I mean, grass and hay, game, dairy. See, I mean,
Somebody's ready to homestead.
I'm going for it, bitches. Going for it.
It's fun. It's challenging. Fucking
Energy,
hard, man.
alternative energy in this book. It's got like alternative energy
You know what? On
solutions.
BitChute, guess what? On BitChute, there's some plans to make little Tesla energies with magnets and shit. There's from running your whole house to small, flipping on a fucking light bulb. You can
Vegetables
find
through
it.
the year. A year planning for veggies.
Well, you got a lot of work to do.
I
Yeah, it's a
know.
lot of work, but it's
You
worth
better
it.
get to work. I'll be
I
right
know.
back.
I get the freaking house first before I go to work.
Yes,
Oh
same.
gosh. I mean, I think this would be, other than the Bible, the Lord's Bible, this here is, yeah. It's got everything. Name something. I bet it's in here. Fuel from waste, solar power, saving energy, combining energy sources. I mean, this is just, it's insane. Uh,
That's cool.
the loo. The loo.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal.
Come on.
Big, yeah.
It's amazing. You guys, $22, you're set. It's a really good book. It's a really, really good book. But yeah, this is yeah, it teaches you how to butcher and draining your land and oh yeah, harvesting and storing your stuff. It's got recipes for when you can. Jams and syrups and canning veggies and fruits, and I already know how to do that shit. But I mean, yeah,
That's
things you need
cool.
to know. It's like water and gray water and wastewater, household goods. Building a community,
Wow.
making a pond and fishing, working in stone. I mean, it's got everything. Pottery, how to set up a workshop. Come on, I mean, fish and sea. This is just it's crazy, and I haven't had time to look at it all the way through, but I tell you what, making grapes and wine, cereal.
Yeah, mark that page.
Yeah, beekeeping. It's got beekeeping, and I want to do beekeeping because I'm a mead drinker. I drink a lot of mead, and mead takes honey, and honey's expensive, honey. So yeah, but, think about doing some bees. I'm not sure yet, but it's a nice big, heavy book, and get it, you guys. John Seymour, The Self-Sufficient Life and How to Live It, the classic Back to Basics Guide to Going Off Grid. Good stuff.
Yeah, text that to me.
Okay.
I didn't get it all written down.
Okay, I will. Here, hang on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's an amazing, and for $22 for a hardcover. See, I went to college, and I'm so used to paying like for a book like this like $200.
Right.
I see a hardcover book with text in it, and learning books, educational books, and it's like $22. Are you kidding me? I used to see these for like $200. Yeah, let me take a picture of this for you and send it off to you. Where are you? You are.
I got this story. It's called Stories, Country Living Skills. We got it. It was It's been a great book. It has like
There you
I'm
go.
sure yours does too. Has like a tree house in it. It
Mm-hmm.
just those homesteading books
Good
have
night, Kim.
everything. It's awesome.
Good night,
Yeah.
Kim.
Good night,
Yeah.
Kim.
This is just it's an amazing little book and well
Love
it's a
you.
big book. And it's built really nice so I can like drag it around with me wherever I go and not have to worry about falling apart for a few years. I'm hard on my books. Oh yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah.
glad you got to go have some fun somewhere.
Bye, V.
Who's having fun? Having fun
Frog
with it.
was having fun over somewhere.
Stirring shit up.
Who?
Ooh, frog,
Frog.
no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's good at that.
Going to sleep too, V.
Bye, V.
Would you believe I got a fire going?
Yeah, it's cold out here too.
No.
I got a fire going. I'm shit you
Thank you,
not.
Camille.
It is cold here. Look up Arcata, California, how cold it is.
Okay.
Right? Probably 55. It always is. I'm freezing.
Well, what is it here? It's 54 here. It's chilly
Oh,
willy.
yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it is 3 in the morning. I mean,
It's 76 here.
Yeah, my husband said he got off the airplane and he walked out the doors of the airport and it
Yeah.
was like a wall hit him. It was all it's 90 degrees and the heat index was 100. It was like walking into a sauna.
It'll kill you. That heat
And
will
I'm like,
literally
oh, it's
kill
so
you.
good for the skin. He's like, oh.
Whatever. Not good for your lungs when you can't fucking breathe. I know that humidity where you get out the shower, you dry off, and then you're immediately wet again because you're just sweating. Within 5 minutes, you're just sweating again. Ugh, yuck. I know humidity. We don't have humidity like that out here at
I
all.
love it. I do.
Dry
I
heat.
do. I have to
Oh
admit,
my God.
I love it. And,
No
if it gets
way.
too bad and too sticky, I just jump in a cool shower and get out and start over
Yeah.
again.
Yuck.
I
I
don't
don't
mind it.
sweat, so I do like it when it's humid because at least it's some moisture.
Well, it's really good for your skin and your
Yeah.
hair and your nails. when you're
Yes.
when you're my age, you want all the help you can get.
Look
Oh,
at that. Frog is a pro.
Frog is a pro.
Which live was
Frog has
that,
been
Frog?
around a long time. He's been around trolling a long. He used to be in all the shows. Liberty Warrior Nation, I think, was banned out of there pretty quickly. Monty, does Monty still stream?
I
haven't
haven't seen him.
No,
Maybe he's under a different name.
I think I seen somebody mention him recently. I've defriended everybody on Facebook that I haven't actually met, or just like acquaintances or people that just hadn't sent me a request. So hopefully he didn't take it personally. But I was just like, you know what? I don't owe people into my life because Facebook's for me and my family, really. But I do stream on there so people can follow me, but they can't see my pictures and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's none of everybody's business.
Well, my Facebook is not under my name, so
Yeah, mine is, but I don't care.
I don't need it. I don't.
Most people don't even know my name on here. I'll bet you. Most people don't know my name on here at all.
I know your name.
You know my name. You know my number. You know my name.
Do you know my real name? Stephanie Kerr is not my real name.
What? Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit, mama. What movie am I? We could do a night of just like movie lines and say, what movie am I? What movie am I? Bullshit, mama. Come on.
What movie am I?
What movie am I? Y'all know this one.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
There it is. Woo! That is a great movie. If you haven't seen that, that actually is a great movie. How to lose a
It's
guy.
good.
Be an annoying bitch girlfriend just like her, and you'll lose the guy in less than 10 days, most likely. He only hung out with her as long because he had a bet going.
Yeah.
Sane men would have dropped her ass real quick. That was a really good movie, actually. Oh,
I've
God.
tried it.
What's your movie, Bonnie? What's your
I'm
movie?
Yeah.
My
Hmm?
favorite movie?
No, if
Yeah.
you were a movie, what would it be?
Well, there's categories. Which category, though? You got to pick because we have
Comedy.
categories. My favorite is what's it called? Rom com? Comedy? Comedy? Not a romance? What? Okay, whatever. It's her choice.
Well, what movie would you be if you were a comedy movie? What would you be?
I don't know. I have to think about it. A comedy. I know for romance what I'd be.
I know, right?
What would
She
I
didn't
don't think I
ask
have a
me
clue.
first, so I'm not saying. I'm waiting for Ronan. What's your favorite chick flick?
I know what it would be because I said so.
What? Really? Because I said so?
Yes.
No, I don't even know that movie.
No.
Oh wait, is that Meryl Streep or Jennifer Lopez? Who's in that?
Diane Keaton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Either that one or Mad Money. Oh, that would be a good one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could see me doing that.
Ronan.
My,
Movie.
my
Ronan.
some like Chris Farley comedy, probably like Black Sheep.
It's got to be macho. Can't be chick flicky.
Yeah, I think my go-to would be probably the most stupidest brain rot in the world, and that would be Polly Shore's Biodome.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
Shaving Poochie.
Does Uncle Ben know about that?
Does Uncle Ben know about that? We're chaos. We got the gypsy.
Yep, I hear the yawning.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes.
Yawning.
My
Oh my
favorite
gosh.
romance movie of all
It's
times,
only been 4 hours.
which I know these people are probably both Satanists, but I love The Notebook.
Mm.
I love that movie. Just
Yeah,
can't.
it's pretty good.
I love it. Don't make that face.
I was
She
forced to
make
watch
that
that movie too.
Don't you fucking make that fucking face about my
I
movie.
should say, you can't see my face.
Fucking make that fucking face about that movie, bitch. What the fuck?
The
That's my favorite movie.
I don't have a favorite.
White House
I
with blue
do.
shutters. Hey, on it, a White House with blue shutters.
Yeah.
On it.
Romance. I would have to say 100 Cigarettes.
What?
I don't know that movie either.
That's a good one.
Movie, I don't fucking know.
And
I don't know
another
any of
one
your
is
movies.
Ever
None of
After. The Cinderella story, Ever After.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one too.
I'm not upset, Wrigley. This
What
dog
the
thinks I'm just playing it. Come here, show everybody you're okay. Come here, Wrigley.
So did you get that? Did you get that text that I sent you about the explosion that happened at my house on the 14th?
Yeah.
Holy
Yes, apple
cow.
dumpling.
Oh yeah.
We're still here, Apple Dumpling. We just are still here.
I'll be right back.
What? No.
Yes.
Did you
Stephanie
guys see? Did you guys see? It was on. It was on. Hang on. Let me shut this down. It was on True Social, capital D, capital C, underline Drano, and he's got a cut of Hunter biting, doing a bump of coke.
Oh yeah, I see on the White House balcony.
Yes. There's
Everybody's
a bunch of kids there. He
yeah.
ducks behind.
Everybody's
Joe Biden
throwing
and
that
the-
around, but I don't know. I actually didn't know about that because I was like, I don't know. I didn't really. 1 minute he's got his hand in his hair. How does he have a bump of coke in his fucking
He
hand?
went like this, and then he put it in his pocket and went like this on his hair at the same time as he's walking off. I'm sorry,
That's something
guys.
they do after a bump of coke.
Yeah, he
You
fixed
got
his
that,
hair
what do they
and
call
threw
that
his.
drip, that throat
He put
numbing
his
I
hand
drip.
in
don't
his
know.
nose and wiped it.
I
That's
never
what
did
they
coke.
say. Yeah, that's what that allegedly.
I'm sorry, but I am a child of the 80s, and I've done enough
We're
cocaine in my life
Gen
to know what a bump looks like, and that motherfucker took a bump.
Probably. And Joe Biden, the babysitter, was just there like, she was his fucking babysitter, right? Y'all know that she was
Yeah, I
his
Yeah,
heard that
babysitter.
too. Yeah.
yeah. He
I got
screwed
the
around on
picture
his
of
wife, and
her.
his wife and married, and he oh,
What a disgusting motherfucker we have for
the
a
whole family.
fake president. What a joke. What a joke.
The deeper they go into exposing exactly what these people are all about, the more disgusted I get with them. Man,
People
even the
get
kids,
ready.
even the
Jesus is
kids.
coming. Soon we'll be going home. Who knows that song?
I do.
People get ready. Jesus is coming. Soon we'll be
Hi, Toby.
going home.
Hi, bud. My
We'll
dog's
be
standing
going
here.
home.
What's up, Duty?
You got a lot of work to do, Stephanie. You got to be packing now forever.
Oh, it's gonna be a professional pack and purge till we get the hell out of here. Yeah. But
Oh yeah, purging. That's fun too. Purging.
well, yeah. I mean, he's been here since 1999, and
Oh,
it used to
great.
be him and his sister and her husband and their 2 kids and his mom. And then his mom passed away, and his sister and the kids and the husband left, and it was just him. And then I came in and inherited the whole bloody mess. So I'm just like,
Lucky you.
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
All right, y'all.
We have entertained you all enough. You know what we mean?
4 hours.
I love you all so much. I wish we could bring you with us in the back room, but we can't. So,
no. I just got here.
what's a
y'all.
good goodbye song? Hey, what's a good goodbye song? What's a good goodbye song?
C'est la vie.
I'm so glad we had this time together
There you go.
just to have a laugh or sing a song. Since we first get started, and before you know it, it's the time we have to say so long.
So long.
Y'all have
Carol
a great
Burnett.
day.
Carol Burnett show.
I can't remember.
Thank you for hanging with us.
Have a good night or good
Mwah,
morning.
smooches, booches.
Insomniacs. Insomniacs, you
Mine
know
with
it.
good stuff. Watch good stuff, you guys. You are what you eat. You are what you watch.
Love, 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 love.
God bless y'all. Love you. Night.